Hello everyone, welcome back to Theothon. I'm very sorry for the delay. There's a tech issue on my end and a tech issue at someone's end, and then things had to be moved around. But yeah, thank you all so much for staying around and being active. So we're gonna be moving on to the Last Guardian big race between a lot of us. So before I hop into that, I just want to remind you this is Theothon, a speedrun charity livestream created by Team ICO Speedruns in honor of our beloved community member Theo, who passed away in July this year. Theo was a runner of the Last Guardian, and he quickly nested his way into our community and hearts. His progress was quick, and his passion and love for the game was far greater than anyone else's, despite Theo's physical condition, making it very difficult for him to even play video games. His absolute courage to push through and help others was astonishing. He was incredibly brave in his battle and would never let that dampen his spirit. Theo went above and beyond with his kindness to us all, and so to better represent that spirit he left behind, we have decided to raise money for Fight the Stroke Foundation to help improve the lives of young stroke survivors, so less children have to fight through what Theo did. And a little bit about Fight the Stroke. The charity is guided by the belief that all children should be equal at birth. Fight the Stroke wants to ensure a better future for young stroke survivors, children with a disability of cerebral palsy, and their families, because an accident at birth should not dictate the future of these children. So yeah, that's what we're raising money to. We've already raised over 1,000 euros, which is absolutely incredible. So, in just a second. Right, runners, would you like to introduce yourselves?
So happy to be here in this great cause and the celebration of life for dear friend Theo.
Hey y'all, I'm Blackberry, and I'm relatively a newcomer to this whole speedrunning thing, but I'm having fun with it, and I'm really honored to be part of Theo's memorial here.
And hosts as well, and commentators.
Go,
So
Sancha.
Panda, I'm here to just be happy that I'm the one not having to deal with Trico during the whole Trico trolling. I'm just hosting and doing sound effects and having fun.
For sure. And I'm Sable. I was here for Shadow of the Colossus, but I'm here for Last Guardian as well. I will be hosting, but I do have a pre-recorded any percent race as well, so I'll be doing both.
Yeah, I'm Walter, and it's great that everyone is coming together today for this race.
Alright, so without further ado, get your fingers on those start buttons. Everyone ready? Everyone at the start screen? Gonna start a countdown?
Yep.
Right. Everyone starts in how do I start everything at once? Okay. In 3, 2, 1, go. There is gonna be a little bit of
And they're
OBS
off.
delay. Ooh.
The first test is who can menu the fastest.
Yeah.
Oh, my
My
menu is
menuing is
terrible.
slow.
I've always been bad at it.
So I'm just a heads up for anyone watching, I'm streaming straight through my Elgato right now. So and everyone else's stream is being recaptured through Twitch, so you have an automatic 15-ish second delay. So it may look like I'm ahead, but I'm not ahead.
Do we have like a list of who is who here?
Yes, so top is Blackberry, Walter, me, Aiden, and you at the bottom, Sable.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry I didn't write a list beforehand.
It's okay.
Wait, did you go left to right and then down in rows, or did you go down in columns?
Left to right.
Okay. Okay, I already forgot. Can you say okay? So Blackberry,
Walter,
me,
Aiden, Sable.
Aiden, Sable.
Okay.
Blackberry.
Yeah.
Walter.
I've got it. I'll write that up into something nice.
And we're seeing movement. What's
yeah,
that
you two
thing
just
in the
go
dirt?
absolutely ham on commentary.
For
Alright.
sure.
So, right now the game is starting. And we see various Tricos and chains. Sable, how many concussions do you think the boy gets during the course of this game on
Oh
an average
man.
run?
On
'Cause
an
we're at
average
1.
run?
We're at 1 already, unless yeah.
I mean, it must be 5, 6 if we're being pretty conservative here.
Right, yeah.
All right, there we go. We've got a nice
Ooh,
nice
nice.
little lineup here.
Bottom timeout. You're in the timeout corner. And yet you're fastest right now as far as when the game is processing people's loading in. Okay, yeah. So Usu is kind of second fastest again because not having the OBS lag, and the
Right.
top middle, top right, and middle right are the ones that are coming in through OBS, and you're coming in through a VOD, right?
Yes, I am.
And we just had a raid of 100 people come in.
Welcome everybody.
Wow.
Hello.
My goodness.
So no more mistakes, okay?
Oh, thank you so much for the raid,
Ah!
Ashwin.
You got it. And I
One.
said, you got it right as I made a mistake.
What did you do wrong?
Trico got up, and so where I jumped to, there was no longer a Trico.
That's
Who's
fun.
just joining us. Yeah, we're putting some commands in chat to help you get yourselves oriented here with what we're doing. This is an event commemorating Theo, one of our beloved community members. We are currently playing his favorite game, The Last Guardian. And I do believe that all of our Tricos are painted blue, just like he painted his Trico. Mine's, I guess, a little bit hard to see, but the runners are in this order. You've got links to donate. We've got Pray for the Gods giveaway stuff and all sorts for at least $15 donations. And come get cozy. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Oh, sorry. Am I loud?
Kamikaze.
Am I blasting your ears out? I'm sorry.
I like your voice, so I don't mind. I could just eat the mic. Is that better?
Here, yeah. No, I'll turn myself down a little bit.
I've done an adjustment already, don't worry.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Thank you.
I noticed everyone does this, so I haven't been keeping up with the run tech lately, and everyone was jumping on the lever after pulling it and then up
Mhm.
to the. How much does that save? I'd never
It's
seen that.
actually, yeah, it's pretty nice because you save all of the time climbing the stairs, doing the grab over on the side of the ledge, and mostly just going through the little archway. You save the time taken to do that, which even if you go through the archway as soon as you want to, that's still, probably 5, 6 seconds.
Right, because you're scooching down and squeezing through.
Mm-hmm. And also, I guess I didn't shout it out earlier. We did have a donation from Goop
Oh,
who
nice.
said, "Sorry I couldn't make it out yesterday to record a run. Love you all, and I'm glad the event is going well." 50 euros, putting us at 1,050 out of the 1,250 goal.
Wow. Change the goal now
Thank you so much, Goop.
several times.
That's awesome.
I mean Grandpa. Sorry, Grandpa. Did you like that
Alright.
early mirror? I sure did. Walter, did you get it too?
Yes.
I got it on third try, fourth try,
Nice.
something like that. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Oh,
refresh
guess who got it
stream.
first try? I got it first try.
Woo!
Woohoo!
Really awesome.
Well done, Eden.
It's interesting the things that we used to think of in this run that were like, yeah, if you get it, you do, but it's really, really tough. That has become a lot more commonplace for runners.
Yeah.
Probably
A
in
lot of
part because
people.
of the ILs.
Yeah, and a lot of people have put in
Yeah.
a lot of effort to just, when the run first kind of started gaining traction, it was me, what Satsu had contributed. There weren't very many people actively hammering these strats and seeing if they could make them better. It was just like, well, this is the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had limited time, like, in our lives to do things. And now there's so many more people.
With more time in their lives. Mm-hmm. And yeah, just more eyes on the game. People finding setups that work, and then others either saying, hey, that works for me, or being motivated by that to find their own setup.
Right.
I'm curious what people would think at this current point is the hardest of these little type of tricks to still pull off. Would it be
Mind skip,
the
probably.
mind skip? Yeah.
Yeah,
That would be
mine's good.
my guess.
I don't know. I don't know why it works when it works for me.
I've never actually gotten it. I haven't tried, to be fair. I haven't tried it that much, but
I've got it once ever.
Like during a actual run, you mean? Or just total?
Well, just practice total.
I think the
Oh,
reason
gosh.
why Mind Skip's a bit more difficult than early mirrors because Mind Skip was found a lot later, so it's just like the setup for that hasn't quite been like perfected in a way.
Maybe. It does seem like Boy has to, the physics of him do have to push him up even more than what Mirror Skip does, though. But
Even though the jump isn't quite as precise, like you don't have to move so precise in midair, which is interesting.
oh, wow.
Yeah, because on early mirror, when you jump, you have to do a very sharp turn in midair that like you have
Yeah.
to do in like a split second. So yeah, that's why early mirror is like such a pain because you can get the boost for early mirror, and then you just like will mess up the jump itself, if that makes sense.
So if you nail the jump for Mind Skip, it's automatic?
For the most part, yeah. I assume so. Getting that boost is pretty difficult because you're launching off of a very, very, very tiny thing.
One-eyed Deacon. Imagine having lives. I know.
Having hobbies? Ooh.
so admittedly, as commentators, we're a smidge behind. Like, the runners are going to be a little bit ahead of us because we're not watching in real
Mhm.
time. But from what I'm seeing, it looks like Usurpering, which would be middle left runner, and me, Sable, bottom right, are basically neck and neck. I think you're actually about to overtake me. With, let's see where Walter is or where Aiden is at the moment.
Yeah.
Walter just a smidge ahead of Aiden, it looks like, and then Blackberry in the top left, coming right up behind. So everybody's still pretty clustered together.
And they're actually closer. The ones who are behind you two are closer because of the
Right.
stream lag. Is anyone gonna get a wooden bridge here? Oh. It's funny the things you like will end up fixating on. Yeah, there's new resets and stuff that I'm not used to seeing.
Yeah, and I phase out of them pretty quickly because I haven't super comprehensively studied everything that's been introduced since my world record.
Mm-hmm.
So I've tackled kind of the beginning game with some of the stuff that I should add, and then I kind of phase out. Walter will keep it going, I'm sure. So will Aiden. Actually,
yeah,
it might just be me. I think everybody else might be updated.
Yeah, I didn't realize you could warp Trico in the lake.
I did it
wonder-
in the task, but at the time that I did it in the task, it seemed to me like it was very risky.
Right?
Because a lot of times when I was trying to get him to do it, he was turning toward me and then taking forever to jump up there. But it seems like the way that it's currently done, he jumps pretty consistently.
And that's a really interesting find too, because I assumed that the only way to push that section would have been to incorporate Brian Davidson's skip, where you don't use Trico and you do a really hard parkour to get up there.
Right, which honestly is still going to be faster than
Quitting out.
doing the reset. Yeah, just because
Yeah.
like if you still have to go and get the barrels to fall down and everything, or else when you go out of the hole, the world won't be loaded and the checkpoint won't work.
Yeah.
But it's still going to be faster to throw the barrel for Trico, get him down, and then just do like the boing 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 up on the geography. But the actually doing that is the
Yeah,
problem.
that's pretty. I do like your terminology for it though. We'll just stick with that. The boing boing boing.
Well, you know, I was moving my arms, which clearly is something that you would be able to see.
I could hear it swish. I could hear your hands swishing through the air. I think we all, you know, had a good idea.
Yuzu and I both on the chains, and Walter just finishing up the cutscene that Blackberry and Aiden are currently watching. Where I'm at, which means they're a little bit ahead of that, but
And now you're off the chain in more ways than one, Sable. The kids are still saying that, right?
I go with a solid So there's a bunch of different ways that runners that I've seen approach this whole chain section. I've seen runners who will call, like Samurai, if he were here, calls at very specific locations. Some runners don't call at all in pursuit of trying to get Trico to not follow you very closely. The closer that he follows you, the worse off you are later when he's not in the position that he needs to be in. So we'll see how many people can get him lined up correctly on this pillar.
All right,
And
we'll
it's not necessarily their fault if they can't, you know, it's Trico as well.
Yeah, it's not like we've got the perfect setup figured out and you messed it up and that's why it's not there. It looks like yours was good in a good spot. How about Usu? No, Usu's needs to turn around. Gosh, it takes Trico so long to turn around here.
It
feels
really
like.
He spins again. He's got to adjust his butt and everything, make sure he's ready to jump.
I mean, that's like a good 20 seconds, I think.
It's definitely a big boost if you can just catch Trico right at the marker where he's ready to jump before he goes too far. And I know that Walter has gotten Trico to jump up or to lift his head without having to do these like kind of bars climbing up.
Yeah,
Just
like
get straight to
jumping
the
off.
top.
Mm-hmm.
And I
It's
don't know how
similar. It's similar in a way to like command skip.
Sorta, yeah. Yeah. And I don't know how consistent that is, but it's downright spooky to me, so.
Well, Trico was like, his head was like stuck there on the top right one. Somebody agrees that I have no idea what the kids are saying these days.
Usurping, I think, missed the chain jump.
That's just spotting y'all, giving you a nice advantage.
Well,
So it's not the worst, you know, you just end up back on the wall and you try again. It's not like a catastrophic thing or anything, it's just boy being boy.
yeah, I had a moment of panic fingers on that part.
Did you see? Usu just tried to jump to Trico's head, and Trico decided to move his head at that specific moment. What is happening?
Sounds about right for Trico.
Oh my gosh.
My Trico, bottom right, turned around, sadly, during
Oh,
this
I
outdoor
haven't seen that
section. So
happen in a while. That's not that common anymore, is it?
for some reason, he just seems like he fixates on it sometimes. Like,
Mhm.
there's a lot of things that you can do for sure to discourage him from doing that, but sometimes he's like basically turning as you load in.
Oh yeah, yeah, we can see that right now with Walter. Yeah, top right. Stocky saying good luck runners in chat.
Oh no, Trico, you jumped down the wrong side.
Oh really? He like turned around and jumped back down?
Yeah, he turned around. Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
When you said you're right, anything can happen. Man, you're right, because I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah, it's never happened to me before.
It
Did you
looks like
call him?
no. Like I'm
I think I
watching
might
his.
not have called him enough. And no, I did call him.
Yeah, you have to keep calling him there, otherwise that can happen.
Oh, that's so strange.
But it's nice to see all the runners still clustering pretty close together in this first outdoor section leading into the cage area. So certainly something like Trico just deciding not to listen,
Mm-hmm.
or like my Trico is doing and being upset at the cage and walking on that cutscene trigger
Yeah.
can really make a big difference.
Walter, I saw you calling from a very specific corner. I felt like that was what kept Trico from getting into that. Is that your thought too?
To which section are you referring to?
Right at the bottom of the steps before going up the stairs where Trico can get angry at the cage, like through the
Yeah.
wall.
Yeah, I think there's a specific camera movement that you can do to make him follow you a little bit faster, but I didn't get it this time, unfortunately. But I tried to call him and wait for him until he moves towards me, and I feel like that prevents him from getting angry at the cage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've tried doing that too. It seemed to work for me, but I wasn't sure if it was just like, you never can tell with Trico. Is this really working, or am I just getting a lot of coincidences?
Yeah, it's a bit of guesswork, that's for sure.
And,
I've never
we
really
definitely
had a problem with him getting angry at the thing because I usually point my camera just directly towards the wall. So as long as I don't look at the antenna, I don't think Trico notices it either.
Wow. So many, and it's like, what of this is real and what of it is just superstitions that we've created for ourselves?
Right, yeah. And just something as simple as like my Trico stepping on that cutscene trigger and Walter's not means that we've switched places, you know?
Yeah, yeah. We still don't know what Walter has paid his Trico in barrels off camera.
I gotta make up for not having a PS5.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah. Gotta go faster.
That's a little bit, a tiny bit. The loads aren't super different, but if it were a matter of like 30 seconds between two runs and one is on a faster console, then you'd definitely wonder, should we check the loads?
This game has a lot of loads. I mean, there's so many
Mhm.
checkpoint resets now,
Yeah.
and also specifically the cutscenes before the cages, cage 1 right now, for example, there's quite a difference between the runs. I think it's like 10 seconds maybe,
Mhm.
just on this cutscene.
Yeah, that does make a difference. See, Usu was also trying to get Trico's to not be mad at the cage. Didn't seem like it worked for her. This is a pity. still, overall, we're gonna have everybody getting swallowed around the same time, it looks like. All still pretty close. I'm just laughing because Ada's having a little bit of trouble just getting off of Trico's head. Walter, do you feel like after having, run the game as much as you have, that how do I word this? That you've kind of developed more of an intimacy with Trico's anatomy, that you'll be less likely to fumble around on certain points, or is it still like something that happens frequently for you?
It still happens, because there's just moments where you can't control the camera, or like the physics when you grab him are just weird. Anything can happen, but what you really get a sense for when you run the game a little bit more is what command works in what spot, and you just gain a lot of more control over Trico over time, and that really helps with the run. I mean, it's not really about getting all the skips to get a fast time, but having control over Trico so he does what you want him to do. That's really most important, I think.
Right.
And getting good fights, that's also important.
Yeah. And that can be tough. Because you still never know when Trico...
I have more problems controlling the boy than I do with Trico. It's because of, weird magnet things that he does, and, if he's not quite in the right position to jump, he will just kind of flop around.
Yeah. Yeah, the boy physics are all over the place. It's weird, between these two games, ICO, made by the same people, was made back in 2001. And I feel like the physics of that game, as far as controlling ICO, even though they're so much more limited, it's a lot I find it a lot easier to control him than to control the boy. Like, he's gonna do the same thing every time in every spot. And boy, you just have no idea. Sometimes, like, everything looks exactly the same, and then instead of jumping, he'll just flop off of Trico's body and die. It definitely feels more like you're riding a Colossus than you're just going through, like, architecture. Unfortunately, you can't stab Trico to make him stay still. Well, we got several people in the armor section all at once. This is exciting. We'll have to see whose fight goes well.
I had a pretty nice fight. Really good. No helmets. Beautiful.
Oh goodness. Looks like Sable's Trico went real fast. Oh, there's still one armor in the back though. All right, looks like everyone's been successfully regurgitated at this point. That's always good. That'd be weird if there was RNG that, nope, your game ended here this time. Sorry.
I can show off my ringtail that I did on this section there here.
Ooh, okay. Remember, Barry is middle right?
Top left.
Top left. Oh, top left. Okay.
Oh, I think you already missed it.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Oh yeah, you're top left, and then Walter is top right. Middle row is Usurpering, and then Aiden.
Ooh,
and then bottom timeout corner is Sable. She mentioned before.
Not paying attention.
I want adventure in the great white somewhere. I always think of that song when I see boy running through that field right there towards the cliff. This really is a Beauty and the Beast story if you think about it. Don't think about it.
Which one's the beauty and which one's the beast?
Exactly. You know, I think they're both. I don't know, does the beast ever eat Belle? So as Walter and Sable are now in the upper grassy area, the next thing to be looking for is if either of them is able to do what would you call this skip? The head poke skip?
Aroma pot skip is what I
Aroma
call
pot
it.
skip. So you're still doing the pot, but you're not having to get Trico to stick his head inside. Oh gosh, that kick. Walter,
Yeah, he got me good.
he did. He he just like kicked you like 10 yards across the soccer pitch. That was great. Fortunately, that didn't slow down Trico's like pathing there to not get on him as early, but so we'll see if either of you can try and make it up to the roof on the other side of this wall without having to climb Trico to do it. So.
I actually don't go for the skip anymore. I think
Oh,
it's
really?
too risky, yeah.
Okay.
Because the problem is not so much getting to the ledge, that's pretty easy, but getting the pot to close is just...
Yeah.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and if it doesn't work, you lose so much time.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you get everything, the pot closes and you think you got it, and you run towards the other ledge outside, where Trico is supposed to follow you, and sometimes he just goes to the pot instead, and he doesn't follow you, and you lose like 30 seconds. So that can also happen.
It's like
Yeah,
Sable did the
Aromapod
skip.
It does mess with the consistency, definitely.
We'll see if Sable was able to get it all to work. So Sable got the skip and was able to close the pot, and there he goes sticking his head in.
And also the problem with Aroma Pot Skip is that it doesn't really matter because it saves like maybe 10 to 20 seconds, but it's right before the corridor, which is at like half an hour into the run. In the corridor section, the fight there is so inconsistent and you lose like literally 1 to 2 minutes often that you just want to get there as often as possible in your any % runs.
Yeah, there truly is like not very much that you can do about it. Like sometimes Trico will just be, he'll swap 4 guys in one swipe, and other times they walk behind him and
Yeah.
So it took me 4 attempts to close the pot.
Oh gosh.
And then Trico spent another 30-40 seconds scratching his fleas after he pulled his head out. So that was a perfect example of, I don't know about that Aroma Pot skip.
And we'll get to see that now. Middle right.
I shouldn't have spoiled it.
No, that's okay. It's good to know, like, just so sometimes people need to know what they should look for. So we'll get to see that with you. So let's watch Aiden's many pot push attempts. Can you accidentally fall off too while you're trying to do that?
oh, absolutely.
It's a miracle I stayed up there for 4 attempts.
Oh my goodness, that first one. This is really interesting.
That's what makes it like partially so challenging, is if you don't close the pot, 9 times out of 10 you are going to fall, and then you're just going to have to solve it the intended way
normal
anyway.
Anyways, right? It's amazing that it actually can be pushed over sometimes. If you look at Aiden's shoves. Such a ragdoll.
And the time that you got it was the time that you fell. That's like really nice.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So we saw Sable get ahead with the pot skip, but then Trico taking so long to catch up
Mm-hmm.
that lost
It didn't
time.
matter. Yeah.
It ended up, yeah, actually being a little slower maybe.
But the swag though.
Yes, the swag. And just, you know, the fun of seeing runs where people are doing different things. It's a lot more interesting. This run, like this race, I think is is probably the most interesting to watch because there's still so much going on differently. And I'm saying this as someone who, you know, this isn't my main game.
I mean, I'm maybe a little biased, but I think this is a pretty good run.
But in this, yeah, you're right. Like in the sense that every single run is different.
Mm-hmm.
In Eco, you know, every once in a while it will surprise me, like it did earlier this morning. I said last night because I took a nap since my run this morning. Every once in a while it will surprise me with something new, but not in the same way that this does, because the AI with Trico is just so complex, complicated. He's complicated.
He's nuanced.
Yes. He's high maintenance. So this is the fight. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, obviously, top right, Walter is currently dealing with a series of fights. There's gonna be one in what I just call the blue room to do this jump to the ledge so that Trico will handle the fight by himself, and then Walter will proceed into a hallway that, once again, Trico will handle the fight on his own, and onwards to the corridor that Walter was talking about earlier, where Trico is going to be super variant, depending on whether he wants to have a good fight today or not. And so we shall see. I, in the bottom right, am lagging a little bit behind Walter. This fight could flip it around or cement Walter as being quite far in the lead. But there's plenty of variance throughout the run, so people can flip-flop all the time.
Mm-hmm. How much of that flip-flopping is really just Trico fighting?
I mean, it's a lot. If you just
It's
think
a lot.
about and Walter, I don't know how you do it. The fight before White Tower skip, I don't know how you get Trico to kill those guys so well. He's such a goober there for me all the time.
Do you have a method, Walter, or have you just experienced general good luck there? Make him get back on his mic. I think that means his secrets are...
That's right, his secrets are sealed. But we have a couple runners coming up into the area where they see Susan, the female Trico, for the first time. Which is immediately before all of these fights that we were talking about. So we've got a cluster of runners there as well, all pretty close to each other.
Sable, were you the one who named her Susan?
It was not me. I think it was Yuzu.
Oh, okay. After a while, I feel like it can be hard to trace, like, who came up with what nicknames for what thing.
You know, I really lost my opportunities to, like, name stuff in this run after myself. Because I had like 2.5 or 3 years where it was basically just me.
Uh-huh.
And I did nothing. I named nothing after myself.
I'm laughing because I've contributed 2 tiny things to this run.
And they're both named after
and they're
you.
both, there's the Panda Plummet and the Sancho Step. Well, the Panda Plummet's pretty cool, though.
It is, yeah.
It is actually legit. The Sancho Step usually doesn't actually do much of anything.
I know, it's swaggy.
But you do have the Sable Sidestep in my run, so you actually got a name in the Eco run, something named after you.
Oh boy, I'm really getting stuck at command skip.
Command skip is one of those things that you don't think about it until the first time it goes wrong, and then you're like, well, uh-oh.
But you got to command skip really fast, which means you had a good corridor fight.
Yeah, the fight was good. Oh my god, now he's going to sleep. Unbelievable.
I had a bad checkpoint reset and had to redo a part over.
Oh,
No.
no.
Oh no. Wow. Didn't realize it could set you that far back.
はあ、トリコーのいてかさとウィズィ、イカスタニウィズィ、イエアホウィズィ、アティケタン、イノイアーロネット、アギシオニーズ。
Blue room
God.
checkpoint really spooks me out. I know Walter does the reset like really early,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't bring myself to do it. Can't bring myself to go to that location. I have to go further forward.
Walter
Like-
still.
Finally got it.
Yay!
So if Sable's run, it's recorded, but if you get yours first try, that basically catches you back up.
Oh, Traco, I messed up.
I feel like I remember it being stressful. Oh yeah, I chose to take the pillar, I remember. Because Trico was being a goob.
I feel like this
So-
is one of the most difficult sections in the whole game, the corridor and the command skip.
Yeah.
There's so much that can go wrong all in like a condensed little
Oh yeah.
area.
You can get grabbed. It's probably one of the easiest places to get grabbed.
I don't know if I can reset here. I probably can't.
Where are you? Since we're a little behind.
Oh, it worked. Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yay.
Trico killed everybody, but he was way down at the other end of the hall. I honestly had no idea. And I can't hear the music. That's what got me is...
Yeah, I feel
gotta
that. I
mute.
run without audio all the time, and I always
Yeah.
spend longer than I have to in fights because I can't hear the cue.
Right. Because for those watching who have no idea what's going on, when there's a fight happening, you don't want to reset while even one of the armors is left, or it will restart the whole fight. But you didn't know for sure that a fight is over until the music stops. And sometimes you can like knock an armor down a pit, and that armor will be falling forever, and you think the fight's over, but it's not technically over yet. So the music is your safety cue. But if people are running the game without the audio on, that adds that extra level of danger of accidentally resetting before a fight's actually finished.
It was funny because when I beat Samurai, and we did like the world record comparison video, both of us did that exact thing at the exact same place where we
Oh,
thought the
really?
fight was over. It was the fight right before you get to like the dangly bits water puzzle.
Uh-huh.
The first time that you get the 2 eye shields, both of us thought the fight was over. Both of us didn't wait for the audio cue, and then both of us had to do the fight again.
Oh, and that's not a fast fight.
No, it's a very long fight. If Trico wants it to be.
Yeah. I feel like Trico just wants to milk the time you have together. You know, it's for scrapbooking
No.
purposes.
What happened?
Trico. No, nothing. He's just being a jerk. Being Trico. Yeah. And I missed the jump. I hate that jump. Command skip's wrecking me too. This whole section is a disaster.
Command skip is really nice with your new strat though, Aiden. I think it really helps.
What new strat?
Aiden has discovered a new strat to do command skip earlier than usual.
I just did it.
Let's watch Aiden.
Well,
Middle
after
right.
many attempts of
Okay.
botching it, so but I showed it off.
Villain, who's in chat, also managed to pull off that early command skip in a recent stream, and it was very impressive.
Ooh. It's not pronounced Vellini?
That sounds like a pasta.
It does.
Yeah. Oh. I see what you mean by Trico just kind of... What in the world?
And it's always sad to have to try to do command skip more than once, because once you do it like the reset, his positioning is just not as good.
Right. Yeah, you're already working with a lower percent chance of success from then on. Usu's going for it.
Chico, buddy, don't look at me. Look at those guards.
Villain. Not Villini. Still trying to wrap my mind around. I am slightly... Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I'm slightly dyslexic, so I'll often, like, say a name flat out wrong, like, for an entire book that I'm reading. And unless I say it out loud and someone corrects me, I'll never know.
I do that all the time with chatters. It seems like they have like such obvious names, and I get it wrong for like 6 months, and then one day it just clicks, and I'm like, oh.
It's deceptively hard.
Here's something else that never happened to me.
What's
Trico
that?
went and killed the guy at the very end of the corridor first, before everybody was dead.
Before
Did
getting
he-
the others?
Did he run
Well,
into
I
it, or
mean,
did he do like his little creeping slow thing?
He kind of crept by some guys that were still alive, and then went after the guy at the end of the corridor, with me still in the ladder section.
What a
Oh,
goober.
so you hadn't even made it out. You just never know. You know, there's all these rigid checkpoints for Boy. Why didn't they make those for Trico? You can't go for that one until you've killed the other 4.
So Walter on the top right and me on the bottom right, working through the turtle guard rooms, and still fairly close. I believe Walter is ahead of me. Blackberry on the top left, coming into command skip, while Usurping and Aiden, left to right in the middle, are both approaching those turtle guard rooms. So again, people staying pretty close to each other.
Didn't do the swaggy jump this time? I don't blame you.
No.
I wouldn't do it in a race. So yeah, I think because of the lag, Walter is a bit behind you visually, but I think a little bit faster in the actual run. It's at any given time, I feel like I'm looking at a screen and seeing Boy fall and break his ankle.
Yeah. It's a core component of the run, just throw him around as much as possible.
Maybe his physics would be a little better if we didn't just like drop him all over the place.
So the upcoming bit, if anybody in chat has played the demo of The Last Guardian, should be fairly familiar. Walter almost got stomped by Trico on accident.
Why are you hanging on Chico's tail for this?
It's not on purpose.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just like trying to have fun, like tail percent run, you know, where you try and do as much of the run on this tail as possible.
That was
I got
brutal.
the new vine skip. That was awesome.
Well, we'll have that to look forward to, which is good. So they'll be coming into the section that was used for the demo of the game once we come into the sunlight in a little bit. But first, runners are going to have to prop open a door with the help of Trico. By the sounds of it, Walter is making pretty good progress on getting the treat for Trico that you'll need to tempt him to help you out with that door.
Blackberry working on command skip. I believe.
Sancho, I know that we're like dramatically behind where the stream is, but just watch my ledge grab attempt
Okay.
here. I just want somebody to commiserate with me.
Attempt quotation marks. Is this gonna happen more than once? Oh my goodness.
I died trying to do jump or drop cancel.
Oh, okay.
In
God.
what world does anybody die at this part of the
Why?
game?
And then once it warped you back up to the top after the what?
I cannot get the checkpoint at the bottom.
What is happening?
It was the worst. I
What is
literally
happening?
I dropped so many times and died once that I just had to give up. Like I had to accept the broken leg and just walk it off.
Meanwhile, Walter gets vine skip and is now like gained a minute on you. Still doing it. Why is it not grabbing the ledge? That is so strange.
It's the worst.
Physics. You're like, you know what? You deserve this pain, boy. Right.
My soul just departed my body.
You think at some point, like, someone would x-ray the boy and his bones would just look like just like slices of bologna stacked on top of each other all the way up, just from all the fractures.
Oh, I'll never get out of these turtle guard rooms.
The
Even
things just
you.
keep happening wrong each time. What happened
Well,
this
the
time?
first one took about 3 or 4 pulls to actually open it. The second one, I went for the IL skip, messed that up, lost a bit of time there. Then did an early checkpoint reset. Had to do it all again. I'm still here.
Aw. You're just giving Blackberry a chance.
Yes.
Thank you, Aiden.
All right, now's a good time as any to plug the charity that we are donating to. Guided by the belief that all children should be equal at birth, Fight the Stroke wants to ensure a better future for young stroke survivors, children with a disability of cerebral palsy, and their families. Because an accident at birth should not dictate the future of these children. Fight the Strokes believes in the opportunity to offer a dignified life to those who've experienced a major trauma, as brain injury at birth or at a young age, so that they can look at opportunities and strengths more than at areas of improvement. There's a couple other things here. Fight the Stroke believes in the role of family plays as critical for success, factor for the rehabilitation and post-trauma care process. And Fight the Stroke offers a range of motor rehabilitation projects, both online and offline, to support those affected by cerebral palsy and strokes. To strengthen both the mind and body, led by tutors and supervisors experienced in physiotherapy, neuropsychomotor therapy of the developmental age, occupational therapy, and adapted motor sciences. So when you give to Fight the Stroke, which is the charity we are supporting, it does a lot of good, not just for stroke victims, but also for their families. And that's just a really, really cool thing. So we thank everyone who's donated so far. Where can I see what we're at? Going on Tilify, right? Do we have the
Yeah, we are currently at 1,050 out of 1,250 pounds.
Awesome.
Euros.
That's
I lied
great.
just now.
And you know, it's so funny to look back at when we hit the 125 euro mark and it says halfway there. and now our goal means that was only a tenth of the way there.
It's been amazing. Chat has been amazing, and the community has been wonderful throughout all of this to make all of that happen.
Oh, did Usu get killed by Trico in one of the turtle fights?
Almost
Looks like it.
assuredly. That's just how Trico do.
So, Sable, what kind of tech are we looking at coming up in this next section with the
So
with the Ueda
yeah.
cinematic moment?
So there's gonna be some consideration of moving during cutscenes, which can be. Well, I guess I shouldn't say cutscenes because they're not actually cutscenes. There's a difference. It matters. These are not actually cutscenes. They're scripted events, which means they happen in the world, like actively. The game will make active calculations when things happen, like Trico tries to catch you out in midair, which is why sometimes he can miss. Hopefully that doesn't happen to anybody today. But we are going to be trying to move during these scripted events to do things like jump off a Trico's back and keep going before the camera like fully allows us to do that. We've got a small fight coming up where Trico's going to be afraid of an eyeball, and we're going to need to clear that out for him. People will choose to do that in different ways. Some people will push the eyeball off and then kind of wait for Trico to come in and take care of the fight before they go down to meet him. Other people like me will just blitz on ahead and Trico will catch up whenever he catches up.
Okay, I did not know there was a checkpoint at that spot. What?
On the bridge?
Yeah.
It doesn't really save time, it's just for consistency, so you have Trico pretty much always in the same spot when you call him, when you go back.
Right, right.
So that's the reason for that checkpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I tried this new vine skip. It wasn't a good idea.
Oh.
Well, I'm sure, you know,
I
it's
should
better
have
than...
said. Hope that works. Yay! Can't wait to learn that.
It does look really cool. The weird thing that it reminds me of is just the way you get to Celosia by like jumping while like sliding against the cliff to land right on the ledge. For some reason, that's what it makes me think of.
I blame you, Sancho, for the events of my Shadow of the Colossus race when it came to that.
Wait,
what
what happened?
You showed me how to do that, like the place that you usually do it, and I got
yeah.
uber stuck in the geometry for like 3 minutes.
You mean my safer route where I'm not trying to catch the cliff, I'm just jumping to the end?
Mm-hmm.
The entrance. Wow, there is like that one little rock you can get wedged in between, right? Is that what happened? And you're in that falling animation?
Yep.
So how, did you actually find your way out, or did you have to reset?
I did. I found my way out. I just basically jammed all of the buttons on my controller until something happened. The true speedrunner way.
Ooh. Good.
What was that sound effect for?
I didn't hang the pot properly and I threw it by accident, but I caught it out of midair.
Ooh. That was a good try. We're just now catching up with your video, Aiden, but that was a good try on the vines.
Yeah. You still at least survived the fall, right? When vine skip fails?
Yeah, but 0 swag points.
And we just can't abide.
No.
It looks like Sable is electing to not do bad ending.
I thought about it.
Bye. I already finished, suckers.
Viva asks who's which on screen and who's in first. I posted the explanation of who's who. Walter in the top right is currently in first. Sable, that's me, bottom right, is in second. And let's see. It would be Yuzu. Middle left is going to be in third, followed by middle right. That's Aiden in fourth, and Blackberry in the top left in fifth.
That's
Good
about
job.
Tic-Tac's run. I really wish he would have been able to join us, but he's got a migraine, and I was almost in danger of. I thought about oh no, am I getting a migraine earlier during the SOTC run? And I'm like, oh no, no! But then it went away. So
Good.
Glad.
yeah.
Now you're getting a migraine called Trico
Yeah.
instead, which is much cuter. You know, as the run gets like further and further spread out, Sable, I'm amazed that you just know the game well enough. You know, you can look at each one and see. It would have taken me a lot longer to figure out who is in third, fourth, and fifth.
That's why I'm here.
Yep. I'm just here for the puns. Actually, I don't even think I've made very many puns this so far. I'm gonna work on that.
Also, we have, well, where did it go? A 15 euro donation from Villain saying, "What a wonderful event. I didn't have the pleasure of meeting Theo, but you all speak so lovingly of him, really moves me. I'm happy to do my part and thank you all for putting on this event. It's the community that made me want to run TLG in the first place."
Yay!
Thank you so much. Here's that donation link for anybody else who is also interested. Minimum $15, no, euros, for all of you non-Americans, to have an attempt at a Pray for the Gods Steam key, as well as a little, what do you call it? I call it a dingleberry, but keychain, that's the word.
Sable, you were searching for the word keychain.
I was. Yeah, yes, I was. I was close, okay?
Alright. It's true. Dingleberry. I mean, it almost sounds the same number of syllables.
For sure, yeah. They're basically unidentifiable from each other.
Yeah, I don't even know how Webster himself would have kept them apart.
And also, let me throw this in chat. The Team ICO Speedruns community is just a wonderful community as a whole. And I'm not biased, okay? Just because I run The Last Guardian and Shadow and ICO doesn't mean that I'm biased, okay? We're wonderful. If you have any interest in running any of the 3 games, all of them, just hanging out, you don't even have to be a runner. Feel free to join our Discord.
Absolutely. I like that the command is "tis." "Tis a good place to hang out." I'd say you'd be hard pressed to find a nicer community, except for the Journey community, which is like sickeningly wholesome. I think we're just behind them in second place in terms of wholesomeness. Mainly because they have Stoic Mom.
That's very true. She's very cute. Walter, me in the bottom right, and I gotta keep everybody straight. Yuzu in the middle left are going to be shortly coming up onto the section with drawbridge skip, which is gonna involve essentially trying to teleport Trico to the place that you need him to be because you're going faster than what the game is expecting you to. So you're supposed to grab this piece of scaffolding and it's going to break under your hands, and poor Trico is going to be like, oh no, I need to save my person. And he'll come over and come meet you. Or you can not do that. Jump down to this very small area that you can stand on the top of the drawbridge and just skip that entire puzzle. And the fact that you do that so quickly causes Trico to just teleport over onto the drawbridge instead of, you know, doing the whole cutscene and jumping over and all of that. So we're going to have a couple runners aiming to get drawbridge, hopefully on the first try. But it's definitely something you can try more than once if you don't get it the first time, and it's still very worth it.
Yeah, it's one of the bigger skips in the game, isn't it? It's such a small little thing, but because of how much scripted animations you're skipping.
Mm-hmm. It's very nice. And, you know, the alternative is dropping onto Trico and climbing up from his back.
Oh gosh, yeah, you never know how far down you're gonna fall.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. It's not just about him getting over there.
Thank you, Tic Tac. I was retrieving the invite, but you were speedy.
Early
And
on,
as another
Yeah, go ahead.
reminder, here's the order of the runners on screen.
Or the runners. I think, you know, as someone who likes this type of game, like the similarities between this and Eco, I just love. At the same time, specifically, like you can see Walter right now getting grabbed by that armor.
Oh, those armors are rough.
This section right here, I was just such a bundle of nerves my first time playing, and I'm just like raging at the game, like, why can't boy have a stick? Why does his only weapon have to be this giant bird dog? I mean, it's a pretty awesome weapon most of the time.
It's funny how your experience of one game is colored by which one you played first, you know?
Yes. So were you looking at the shadows and thinking, why can't Yorda just destroy them at all times?
Yeah, I was like, why are these do not need to be this hard? You know, because obviously, even if Trico isn't helping me with the armors, I can still kill them in one hit if I pull their heads off. So it seemed to me like shadows that take like 10 hits or something. It's like, why? Help.
Yeah. They do take a lot of hits.
And apparently it's even worse on the PS2 version.
You know, 14 hits for all of them? Yeah, just a little.
Plus the
extra aggressiveness
and the spiders.
Spider shadows. Yeah. Yeah, I tried to beat my world record during Bits for Bytes on Thursday, and after failing Darkroom Skip for the 3rd time in a row, I just finished the run. Because even some of the skips you can do aren't nearly as reliable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can also hurl boy into armors, which is sometimes is enough. But define enough. Like it doesn't defeat them. I mean, you can do the whole okay, Sable, new idea. Boy percent. Every armor has to be killed by the boy jumping on it and beheading it.
Oh no.
What do you think?
You know, I would do it if I could tell Trico not to participate.
Well, no, like Trico can participate. You're just not giving Trico any commands.
Oh, sure.
So,
You
I'd
know,
imagine. Yeah, go ahead.
Villain actually was having a problem with the controller like not working right, and so couldn't pick up like helmet or barrels or anything. And it made me wonder, like, is there a way to do an entire run where you don't grab anything except for like story critical things like levers, because obviously you have to do that. So like if you have to deliver a barrel to Trico, can you do it by just like kicking it the entire time? And that sounded like a nightmare, which makes me kind of want to do it.
How, like, even the barrels that you're supposed to toss into the lake, though, can you get it up through the door?
Right? Like if you, I don't know, if you crouch on it right, or maybe if you like throw yourself into it with a shove, could you get it to go? And I don't know why I would do this to myself, but of course I would do this to myself.
I still like Flora's Lava %, where you try and be on Trico for as much as possible.
That was harder than it seemed. Trico really benefits from you being on the floor when you give him commands sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so you did that one.
I did,
you did
yeah.
Flora's Lava %? Nice.
I think we called it marsupial % at the time.
I like that too. Parasite %. Usu getting the eye skip. Woohoo!
Yeah, I think everyone who has been to the eye skip so far has gotten it, which is great. The intended way to do that eye that's hanging in the sky is to go through the broken part on the front. You'll switch around to the back, do some platforming, come through another broken part, and you'll be back on the front, and you can do some more platforming to get up to the top. But Walter actually showcased earlier on the fastest way to do that, which doesn't involve jumping sideways, it just involves jumping straight up. But either way, there's multiple ways to just do the front of the eyeball and kind of skip the platforming.
Nice rhyme, by the way. The eye is hanging in the sky.
Oh yeah, totally intentional, 100%.
You could say it was pretty fly. That's what the kids are saying these days, right? All right, Aiden is working towards the eye skip now. Oh, and we got a little. Is your screen frozen? A tiny bit?
Oh yes.
Little lag. Okay, we're all experiencing it. Just a lot demanding on Usu's internet.
Yeah, I'm sure that it just tried to reload everything at once, and it's having to do a think for a second. It's coming back. There we go.
So we can assume that Aiden got the eye skip, but I don't know. This could be a different video. He might have used his chance to switch to a VOD right there.
It was all orchestrated in advance.
They're in cahoots. Ah, now's my time to shine. As we head towards the Panda Plummet.
Oh, the Panda Plummet is such a nice skip. I love it.
Thank
It's
you.
my favorite skip in the whole game.
Oh, that's really nice. And it was just on a whim. Like, I saw him and I was just like, I'm just gonna jump. I'm probably gonna die, but let's just do it for fun.
It was funny because I spent so long in the TAS doing like that, like rope run diagonally.
Yes, I remember that.
And then you just completely obsoleted it immediately.
But it was really cool. The rope run was neat too. It looked super hard.
I mean, I guess I would much rather have like yours that's actually usable.
But I mean, what we're talking about a task. Usable doesn't matter. The less usable, the better.
Also, thank you to Ghosty Blots for the €15 donation. This is such a lovely event for a great cause. Having a great time watching the runs with family. Thank you all for this marathon. Thank you, Ghosty Blots. You are wonderful.
Cool name too.
So as I am seeing, I have to go find the name of the runners again. They're the order of the runners. Walter, top right, currently still leading. me, Sable, in the bottom right. In second place, looks like Yuzu had a bit of a struggle and has fallen behind Aiden on the middle right, who is currently in third. And Yuzu and Blackberry on the top left are sort of within the same section. The pre-drawbridge setup and eye skip and everything. One of the things that I love about Last Guardian races is that because the world is so interconnected, everybody
Yeah.
like always, you never feel like you're very far from anybody else, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because like to me, all of these runners are still very close to each other.
Right, right.
This is a multi-hour run, and they're all basically touching either the front end or the back end of the same area.
Right, right. And
And
one
I
could even be like 30 minutes ahead, but if it were possible to be multiplayer, you could see another one off in the distance, like making jumps and stuff. Which would be really cool.
So yeah, the fact that like Blackberry is coming up onto the eye, whereas Walter is still perfectly within view of where Blackberry is, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can see the cages.
You can see the mobiles down below while
Mm-hmm.
hanging there. The way just all the ooh. Good try, Blackberry. You can do it. All the interconnectedness, like even with Eco, I think I'm still figuring out how it all overlaps. Like I was hanging out on the Cliffs of Insanity and just looking up at the castle,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, all right, so there's the what are those two things just sticking out there? Oh, that's the end of the train tracks. And then what's this giant wall here? And I had to go and look up a map online and be like, okay, so the giant wall that's right next to the train tracks is actually the pump jump room. My brain can't handle this even now. How well do you think you could just freehand draw this whole map?
I could draw the speedrun route and then it would very quickly start to be blank around the edges, you know?
Yeah.
But it is true that you don't necessarily realize some runners oh, I think Aiden's getting the zoomed in syndrome that he occasionally gets.
No, Aiden.
But it is easy to kind of forget, like, if you're basically in the spot that top left Blackberry is, it's easy to forget that straight above you is Drawbridge.
Right.
And it doesn't seem like it. And then straight below you is where you met the other Trico for the first time, and Trico was taking a bath in the water. So if you could
Right.
find a way to just yeet yourself up into the air, you skip like an hour of gameplay. Like, it takes an hour to just go straight vertically by the route that you do. And so if speedrunners could just go straight up, we'd be at the end of the game very quickly.
Right. If this game didn't load by a stupid checkpoint system.
A very stringent checkpoint system that gets very grumpy if you try to break it even a little.
Oh my gosh. But sometimes it's fascinating, like when you see like Brian Davidson like double back and go into an area that's no longer loaded, and you're just like looking at basically like how they cheated to make it look like it was still loaded from outside.
Sable, did you give Trico a blue stripe? Yes, I did. I gave him a pinstripe and blue boots.
For racing.
Yeah.
Racing stripes. Almost as effective as what am I thinking of this? The Simpsons episode where there's like holes in the car and the salesman tells Homer that it's speed holes. Racing stripes almost as effective as speed holes. Then later you see him just taking a pickaxe to his own car to give it speed holes.
I don't remember that at all. So we've got a 50 euro donation from Stitch Otter. Fun stream and a
Ooh.
great cause. Thank you so much.
Hey, Stitch. Yeah, he's one of the guys that's usually on my stream.
Oh, wonderful. We got some cozy friendos up in here.
So is there a way to get Aiden's thing out of that glitch, or it's just like
I'm
that now
not
for the
sure.
rest? I know where he's at, but
Aiden's running on vintage film.
it really does look like that. This is a run from the 1920s. Every once in a while, it will like switch to a title card, and it's got like Janis Joplin? No. Who's the guy who did the Entertainer? It's not Janis Joplin.
It's not. It's
Scott
not.
Joplin.
Take another little piece of the heart. Yeah.
It is Scott Joplin. Way to go.
Scott Joplin. There we go. Not Janis Joplin. So yeah, so we're hearing Scott Joplin music playing with title cards showing up every once in a while, and it just says like "Oh easy."
I'm so sad
Grip.
because
That's the title card. Pull.
oh yeah. I'm so sad because I used to have a Wheezy as my split sound for when I
yeah.
got like a gold split and it stopped
Uh-huh.
working.
Oh, that is sad. If only there were a way to spend time to make it start working again.
Now, who's ever heard of that?
No. Once it stops, you're done. Do 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 do. Pull. Do 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 do.
Oh, Tic Tac. You've just okay. So Tic Tac says I would 100% lose any Forbidden Lands GeoGuessr style competition.
Uh-huh.
We were talking about that for Shadow of the Colossus at some point, but why don't we do it for like the entire series?
Oh yeah, I can find some fun spots with Eco.
That would be so much fun.
I'd say the
Yeah.
one.
Successful drivers get. Sorry to interrupt.
Yay!
Yay!
First try?
Yep.
Sick.
Woohoo! Redemption.
It's gonna come up on the stream pretty soon.
I would say the one rule is no like using of hacks for like free cam
Yeah,
To-
sure.
to like come up with angles that wouldn't have been there.
Yeah, it would have to be something that you'd have to actually be able to stand in front of.
Mm-hmm.
But that would be so much fun. Like, either do like a bingo card or like a relay or something.
I love that the zoom in is in the perfect spot for those like clues to just keep popping up.
They're
Hey,
like perfectly centered and everything.
Aiden, hey Aiden, do you remember how to remove spears? Because if you want to know, it's circle. Surprise, surprise.
My Trico doesn't deserve to have his spears removed.
Oh.
Oh,
Harsh.
I just about. Oh no! Ah.
That's what you get. Oh, we've had.
Trico, he trolled me in the dark room,
Oh.
and now I'm stuck on his arm, and he's completely covered in spears. This is awful.
Well, you know what you can do.
Make up with rope jump. I won't tell you if I got it or not.
Finally, I don't listen. Remember, every single time I come here.
Yes, I'm always turning up. Well, I can't this time because I'm commentating. Do you want to say hi? What? Just say hi, really loud. No? Okay.
I feel stupid.
You're adorable. Everybody loves you.
But how come? But if I yell.
Yes, what do you see? Commentate on what's happening.
I thought video commenting.
Okay, maybe some other time. My daughter has joined us.
Hello.
Hey. They're all saying hi. Teams of 2. Oh, I think you're right. We need teams of 2.
So it's a race?
Yes, there are 5 people racing. This is a good time to tell everybody. So, up here in top left, middle. I want to say, I'll just say top left. We have Blackberry, and then to his right we have Walter. Right in the very middle of the screen is Usurping, and then Aiden. But his game is video is glitching, so it's showing it really zoomed in, which is funny. Down here is Sable Dragonrook. You know her because we've watched a couple of her Spyro speedruns at dinner time. Remember? Yeah, she's a celebrity.
Oh boy.
I don't know. She's just bad at the game.
I wouldn't say that.
I'm just kidding. No, it's part of the thing. She needs to grab Trico's tail to escape.
No, it.
So one of my favorite clips of Usurping is when she's trying to grab the tail, and it grabs and yanks the boy so hard from the branch that he just falls to his death.
Oh jeez.
In the middle is purple.
Yeah, they colored them blue in memory of our friend Theo.
Oh, it kind of looks. Oh, now I see the blue. At first I saw purple.
Sable, did you get Vine Skip first try?
I got modified Vine Skip where I was scared, so I let Trico go down a little bit first.
It worked.
You know, Blackberry, I meant to say something earlier when you did barrel skip. I don't know that I've ever actually noticed somebody do it the way that you do, where you walk not on the rail. And that's cool.
Oh, right. I think Walter discovered that.
Yeah, I don't walk on it either. I think it's more consistent. You get more
very...
momentum if you don't walk.
Yeah. Very swaggy, for sure.
Wait, I missed it. So what was it that happened?
First barrel skip, instead of walking back like across the rail where the train cart would be, you walk kind of to the right of it along the jagged rocks that are sticking out over the edge.
Yeah. I saw that.
Oh,
okay.
You're talking about the first barrel skip. Ah, okay.
I wasn't even thinking of it. I saw it and I was like, and I wasn't even processing that it was different. But it is.
The trick to that one is that you do have to step on the landing and make a U-turn. You can't just go directly like towards the wall and then left. If you do that, you fall off.
Huh.
Oh, Walter got one of the armors to fall.
So yeah, Walter top right is going to be navigating this fight scene and the area immediately after it. Me, Sable, on the bottom right will be coming up to it in just a little bit. It's the first introduction of armors with eyeball shields, so those are going to be very scary to Trico and a high priority to get rid of because Trico will stop fighting for as long as he sees eyeballs. So we want to make sure that those are gone as soon as possible.
Usu's just trying to get up the ledge, and Trico absolutely would not let her. That was hilarious. She's like scooting over and the tail's like still in the way. I can't imagine.
120 euros from Goliath, who says, "Good luck on the run. Dragon, Catbird, Camera Boy, please."
What?
And that brings us to our 1,250 euro goal. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thanks, Goliath.
That's
He's
amazing.
another one of my very best friends.
Wow.
Thank you so much, everybody.
That is so cool. I feel like I should. I think we need like a good alert sound for donations. I'll do it right now. Okay, ready?
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Absolutely perfect. I plopped that donate link right in chat. Obviously that's the link to donate, but it's also a link that can tell you a bit more about the Fight the Stroke Foundation if you'd like to do some deeper diving into what we are supporting today. I know Sancho gave a little bit of a primer earlier.
Yes. I can read it again at some point, maybe every hour. There's a lot of big words in there, so I definitely need to pace myself. I was cracking up though. Go ahead. Aiden?
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, my screen is my screen still zoomed in?
It
So I can-
is,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay,
Yes, it
I
is.
got a chance. I can stop. I can restart the stream, I guess. I think if I exit out, stop the streaming, it won't exit out of the game. I don't think. I'm not
It
sure.
shouldn't. You're just streaming
Shouldn't.
directly from your PS4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna
How
try
does
that
it-
now. I don't know.
Coming up on Panda Plummet.
I believe.
There. Didn't take long.
Oh, nice.
Thanks, Aiden. I'm sure we'll see it switch over here in just a second.
That face of Trico. It is very entertaining though. It's kind of spooky. This looks like someone like a very poor montage of editing skills, you know? And they've just got like they've just got some 80s song playing. Like something that doesn't even fit, like Eternal Flame by the Bengals, you know?
Something like that.
Is this burning an eternal flame? Now I've got that in my head. Close your eyes. Give me your hand, darling. Yes, villain. It's only the broadcast that's giving us the weird zoom in. It's not Aiden's actual gaming experience. All right, we're back on.
That's
We're
just
back on.
extra swaggy playing that way.
Yeah. Now in Eco, you can zoom in, and I have done an entire run with the camera zoomed in. I do not recommend it, but it was fun.
That was a really nice panda plummet, by the way. Blackberry. Like, Trico was already going and everything.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
it was really pretty.
Also another donation. Gotta refresh the page real quick from Coco Yuri, 15 euros. This says, oh. Thank you so much. Actually, oh, with a heart. I can't neglect that part.
What would be the sound of the heart, phonetically?
Oh no.
Thump?
Yeah. If you some people who have the the stuff that reads their sub alerts out loud, it always just says less than 3. Thank you so much, less than 3.
I'm gonna keep doing reverses of your emotes just to annoy you.
How dare you?
Again, a lot of people very close to each other as far as dangling from the tree moment.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people unifying all around that section. So top right and top left, or I'm sorry, top right and bottom right are both right around the second aroma pot section, which is going to be coming up toward Coliseum. Walter in the top right, a little bit further ahead. Coliseum is going to be a little bit of platforming, mostly some fighting. See if we can get some armors to despawn. So hopefully they don't load in correctly, and I'll talk about that more in just a second. Meanwhile, we've got the 2 middle runners. That would be Yuzu on the left and Aiden on the right, both navigating the trees / the skip down to the vines to do barrel skip, and Blackberry is going to be coming up on their tail shortly once Trico gets to the top of this tower. So the only difference between the tree section and the tower section is one single cutscene.
Oh, is that a Sancho step there? First I was like, Sable, What happened to your game? The camera got stuck. Oh no, you're just trying to get the tail to fall.
Yep. Just doing. I was trying to do, the more modern way, where you don't go get the bucket. I can't words anymore. Where you don't get the
Okay.
box first. And it ended up coming back to bite me anyway.
Aroma pot. Potpourri, if you will. Yes.
Well, now I have
No.
that mental image forever, so thanks for that.
Yeah. So it looks like true carnage while you were eating. At least it stopped the voices, right? Mm-hmm.
So Walter's going to be coming up on Coliseum, and I assume is going to be attempting to do Coliseum glitch, skip, whatever you want to call it. As far as we understand, there are 4 armors in the Coliseum, and we believe that they spawn in kind of one by one in a row, starting from the back of the room and coming toward the front. So if you can cause that area to load in, and then immediately, right away, just reset as soon as that load starts, you can cut it off, and hopefully just that first armor will have had time to spawn. The other 3 will not be present. Sometimes if you get very lucky, within a couple frames, you can get 2 or 3 of the 4 to spawn. So it does seem to work kind of in a progression, but ideally you want just 1, because 1 armor is faster to fight than 4.
Since the PS5 loads faster, does it actually make that window tighter?
Yes. The people on base PS4 have the longest amount of time.
Hee hee hee, our one advantage. Save load, yeah. See, we need to start naming some of these things after you. Did you discover this?
I did not know.
Oh, okay. Then no.
I mean, I discovered the kind of tangentially related and not really important fact that you don't actually have to touch the ground in order for it to work. Like the load point is actually just a plane, so you can miss and still make it happen, but that doesn't really matter, so...
The sable plane. That doesn't sound right.
Nah. See, I lost my opportunity because, like, the thing... I named the thing, but I didn't name it after me. Rope run.
Sable scoot.
Sable run. Sable scoot is better. I can call it that.
I think for the rest of this run, we should just consider how to rename all of the tech after you, whether you found it or not.
I don't know that I could bear to take Satsu's credit for all the stuff that he found. That man was dedicated.
Yeah. The sable steel.
Yeah, because I stole all your tech.
Walter, if I could, while you're doing this, can I trouble you with the question about something I saw earlier?
Sure.
Did you add a new checkpoint when Trico jumps up out of the pool area?
Yes, I think so.
Like I noticed you.
When you jump out of the pool, I mean, you mean the part where you jump onto Trico's tail and he pulls you up.
Yeah, you jump onto his tail and he pulls you up, and then there's a checkpoint there. But did you add another one after that? Like when he then jumps up to
Yes.
the top.
Yes, that one is new. Although it was kind of inspired by Sable, because Sable
Oh.
did a run. What was the run again, Sable? You had to grab Trico's tail or something?
Oh, Sable had to step away for 2 minutes. I was trying to talk to you to make it seem
Oh.
like she wasn't gone, and
Okay. Yeah,
that's
anyway,
okay though.
Sable had an idea there, and I didn't know that you could CP reset there.
Hmm.
And when I tested it, I found out that Trico will always immediately kill both the armors. So you have a very fast fight and a very consistent fight if you CP reset there.
Oh,
So-
wow, that's cool.
That's also a really, really nice strat to make the run of that segment a little bit more consistent.
Right, and then it makes the Sancho step worth it too, because you're actually saving time as opposed to
Yeah.
who knows if the fight will go well and if it would save time or not. Nice. All right, let's see. We've got Aiden fighting doing the 2i fight right now. So he'll be headed to that pool section we were talking about in just a little bit. Usu is trying to eat while doing her run. Blackberry's just a little bit behind. Looks like having done the vine skip and now trying to get another munchie to Trico. Since we're all at different skill levels, someone may be behind, but it might be still a great run for them. Blackberry, how do you feel like your run's been going?
I had a rough start, but things have been going well. Knock on wood. Don't want to jinx myself, but if I get close to PB, I'll be very happy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, putting me right next to Walter is like very, it's not aggravating because I've learned not to compare myself directly to him. And besides, like, he taught me a lot of what I know. So
Yeah. Ooh, Sable going for the head of the Colosseum armor. To this day, it still baffles me, Walter, as I see you doing the first swimming section, that there's so many prompts for how to move in the game, but they don't tell you that triangle is swim up.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that either. Sable told me that.
Yeah. I think same here.
Oh.
It makes such a difference. How's it going, Aiden?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, I heard you go, ah!
Oh,
So,
well, I can see Gwath is chatting in my chats, or my chats are coming up, so I checked them, and poor Gwath is wondering why I'm quiet.
oh,
And it says right in my description, no mic, no chats. God. No. And then I messed up, or I forgot to go for one of the new little IL skips. Poor Gwath. I might have a chance to. God, read the
I can pop
description,
in.
people.
I can pop in and tell him, hold on.
Oh, that'd be great.
Are they still there? Oh, I don't
No
see
problem.
them. Okay.
Oh, maybe they left. Because I ignored them for so long.
Well, I did my best. I'm covered in tomato seeds, Usu. And yet it's easier for you to type that out while eating and playing the game than to say in chat. I think that's the other fun thing about a run like this. Just the things that happen to us during. My daughter walks in on the stream, tomato juice everywhere. Aiden's camera decides to do the zoom in glitch. This moment right here where boy starts to drown on Walter's screen as Trico. Wait, have we made it to the second one yet? Ah, yes. That moment made it into the lyrics for the Last Guardian song. That duet that Ruby and I made that will be debuting later today. For those of you who enjoy our duets. Oh, good job with that. Yay! So I tried to, you know, give us something to talk about by just calling on someone else while you were gone, so maybe people wouldn't notice that you were gone. So I asked Walter about a checkpoint, and he immediately said, like, so actually it was Sable that gave me the idea for this checkpoint. Sable, what run was it that you were doing?
I was immediately gone. What checkpoint was it?
Like, it's the second checkpoint after jumping out of the pool that guarantees that Trico's going to kill the two armors very quickly. Right before the Sancho step.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, so
the one where sometimes you can get the armors not to wake up.
Oh, is that it?
That's probably.
Oh, yeah, that's what happened in your run. The armors
yeah.
didn't wake up.
Mm-hmm. I was messing around trying to see if I could get them to break, and they did. And it kind of doesn't really matter, but it's cool.
Well, so yeah, so Walter was explaining that he discovered that if you do that checkpoint at a certain moment, that the armor kills are very predictably fast there.
Nice. That's great, because I'm pretty sure that in this very run, I was away when it happened, but it would have obviously just happened because I just went through that section. Trico did a horrible job, and I'm pretty sure that I had the barrel and had thrown it back out before he had killed either one of them. That was potentially the slowest I've ever seen him do that. What a goober.
Shout outs to 8:30 p.m. breakfast. Oh my goodness.
I'm so hungry right now. Like, I don't even like tomatoes, and the fact that I know that Yuzu is eating tomatoes makes me very hungry.
Seeing everyone do the Sancho steps makes me happy.
I tried. I don't think that I got it.
Why do you have trouble with it? I don't understand. Do you not pull it all the way flush, or?
Well, I think that I do, and then it just like never works anyway. Hey, don't judge my Sancho step.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
I think when I started out playing, I didn't even know that you could lift the barrel up onto the crate.
Right?
So I
it doesn't tell
assumed
you
you had to do with the Sancho step. Like,
Yep,
that was the intended way.
Yep, that was how I quote-unquote discovered it, was because I thought that was the way you had to do it. Much like how how Sable helped us with East idled doors, like doing a better skip there.
Because even just like when you hang the pot on the chain, like they don't, unless you get super close, they don't ever flash that up either, and you're like, what am I supposed to do here?
Yeah, it's ironic the time, like, for all the times that the clues keep popping up when you don't need them, it's ironic the times that it doesn't. So placing the barrel on the cube would have been a huge one. Triangle to swim upwards, of course, would have been very, very helpful for everybody.
Yep, because the other solution is just, and I guess I'll just drown now. That'll get me to the top, right?
Yeah. Eventually.
熱海せたらな、おとつりこうの。
Oh, we got another Susan encounter by Walter here. Is there anything new we do here?
Not really, no.
Yeah, it's not much to
Sable
improve.
discovered a new strat for the task to make the way where you walk around Susan a little bit faster, but it's not really RTA viable.
Yeah.
I still wish there was a way to get Susan to just yeet you right up into that window.
I spent a long time on that.
A long time.
And I was very close a couple times, but there's just an invisible wall.
And no ledge detection, right? So
Right.
it's like
You have to
it doesn't
land
matter.
in it.
Yeah.
But even if you could like get the angle right, there's still just the invisible wall.
What's really cool in this section is what Brian discovered is that there's a way up towards the ceiling of this cage section where you can go through the wall and you can almost reach the corridor where there's a secret barrel a little bit later in the run. And he discovered that these sections are basically connected. So in theory, you could climb up all the way through the textures. The game doesn't load properly anymore out of bounds, and reach another section way ahead. And so maybe there's a huge skip there, but we couldn't make it work so far.
Yeah. It comes down to those dang checkpoints again, and the fact that like it's not just your position. Like, oh, I made it this far, therefore I can reset and Trico will be here. That kind of trolls you on stuff like that.
But I mean, cage skip would be amazing.
That would be fantastic.
It seems like if we ever were to get it to work, we wouldn't know how. And then it'd just be like, well, oh well.
I've had multiple dreams now of finding huge skips like that and saving. Like there was one where I skipped straight from drawbridge to the end of the game, and I just kept saying to myself like, "Oh, I have to finish the run. I have to finish the run," because I saved like 2.5 hours.
My reoccurring nightmare that I still have, I had it 2 nights ago even, is like me and I'm in college and I realize like it's either mid-semester or close to finals, and I realize that there's a course I was enrolled for that I haven't been attending the entire
That's exactly Husbando's like terror
year.
dream as well.
And then I'm like freaking
that.
out. Yeah. It might be a really common one. It's just the scariest thing in the world. It's a very Hermione type of dream, you know?
And then you figure it's like, well, I've missed this so much so far. It's just like, I might as well not go.
Aiden, did you get a 2 armor spawn in the Coliseum?
Yes, he did.
That's cool.
They're giving him a lot of trouble.
It's funny though to have just talked about that. So that was like a frame in between when the first armor loaded and all 4 of them loading that caused just 2. But yeah, that's Husbando's like terror dream, that he's enrolled in a law school class and he's like, I didn't know, and the finals tomorrow.
Yeah. And then your brain just starts calculating, all right, like, so how many classes did I actually miss? Who do I know who takes notes? Wait, was this a class where they didn't take attendance? Do I still have a chance?
See, mine, if I ever have dreams like that, they're always like travel related. Like, I need to get on an airplane and I don't have my shoes, or I'm on the airplane and I don't have my passport, you know, things like that. And it's like, how do I solve this problem before the plane
It's
lands?
like, how did you get there in the first place?
Exactly, right?
I think we also need to be following Usu, who is continuing to find ways to wear as much of her breakfast as possible.
Saving it for later.
Yeah. I don't know how you save a drink for later, but...
Just wring out the shirt.
Little belly button reservoir.
Oh.
Unless you have an Audi, and then that would stink. Then you don't even have that option. I feel like technology has brought us to the place where very few people have Audi belly buttons anymore. Like, medicine has evolved.
I've never thought about that as not being a genetic thing, but you're right.
Because it's totally how they sew you up, I believe, or
Yeah.
just what happens when they cut off the cord. I have a dream where I can't find my classroom or gate at the airport. Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the other variation. It's like I know where to go, but my brain doesn't have the map.
Brains be weird.
Usu's belly button is an innie and an outie at the same time. So it's like a peak.
So
Alright,
Walter
let's
on the
see.
top right is working on cage puzzle. I on the bottom right will be just coming into cage puzzle here in a little bit. Very challenging to navigate this cage, which does not roll in a straight line. Around and alongside Trico, who mostly just wants to help, but honestly makes it worse.
Yeah, for sure.
Looks like we got a good nudge.
His heart's in the right
Walter,
place.
eventually,
but...
yeah.
By the way, I got the cage skip where Trico doesn't sniff at the cage and he immediately lifted me up.
Nice. That's
I've gotten
honestly like a really decent save.
Yeah, that's pretty good, but I still don't really know what causes it or to make it consistent.
Yeah, that's actually pretty. It's rare to see that.
Why is Trico so obsessed with smelling metal?
You're right though, like the axle and everything from earlier.
Oh,
maybe
forgot what I was doing.
Maybe it smells like the same material as what's in the brainwashing antenna rooms. So there's just an apprehension.
Oh, Trico.
Did you just break your leg, Walter?
You break your leg like 50 times.
Oh yeah.
Coming down there.
Oh yeah. I guess that one was scripted. I forget. It's been a while. Watching all these is
It's not scripted because spoilers, I guess. I don't get it in my run.
Oh, you don't get the broken leg on that fall?
Yeah, and it's like the first time in quite a long time since I've actually done that correctly and done it without a broken leg. It's really nice. It's just it's almost like there's some kind of trigger in the cage as you fall, and if you get caught in it, it kind of sucks you down, and then you have to break your leg. So you have to stay above it in order to stop it from happening.
All right. Interesting bounce for Walter.
Being in between the two like pads always stresses me out.
Can you run off the edge?
I don't actually know. Probably.
No one's ever tried it in a speed run for some reason.
But like sometimes you can get a really nice roll. Like Walter got a nice recovery from being in between the two pads. And sometimes it just will not cooperate.
Yeah.
You can get so unlucky on that cage section. I had a run yesterday, and I flew right behind the second cage. Like I was behind the cage and between the wall, and I couldn't move at all.
Yeah, there's no like opportunity to turn or anything. You're just back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah.
So Blackberry on the top left is working with the Catapult and Coliseum. That's going to be right before these water puzzles that you see Yuzu on the middle left and Aiden on the middle right solving. So they're still part of the same area. And then this whole stuff with the cage going on is immediately after the water puzzles. So again, people are kind of on the front and back end of the same little chunk of the game. And it always encourages me. Like, Cage feels so distant into the run, and then White Tower feels like so far away.
Mhm.
But in reality, the distance between Cage and White Tower is not that big. And I
Right.
just have to tell myself that. Like, every time I do an any percent, I'm like, okay, it's basically, Cage is over. It's basically just White Tower now. And then it happens in like 5 minutes, even though it's longer than that.
Yeah, it just feels that way.
Because fatigue can definitely set in toward the end of this run. I mean, 3.5 hours is
Yeah,
still
that's a lot
like
of time. Yeah, I'm
that's a
fatigued and
decent
I'm just
average time.
I'm fatigued. I'm just commentating. All right, let's see your famous not hurt, not broken leg here.
I hope
It's
that
this
I'm
next
I'm
drop?
right.
You
That I
lied
should
to
just
us.
make that up. See, I like tried to go for it and I messed the first little part of it up, but
Right, but it's still, yeah, that worked. Look at that.
so it's been
I
a
still
while
get
since that happened.
nightmares of the time I got stuck there because the chain sometimes just gets fused into
Yeah,
places.
it just gets jammed into the wall or whatever.
And I think I mentioned it once in your stream, and then you got stuck there, and you're just kind of playfully raging at me like, Sancho, what'd you do?
Oh, you're right. I remember that.
Ah.
And I remember my launch being inspirationally disappointing, I suppose.
Cue
I
the
would
Chariot of
describe it.
Fire music.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum.
For like 2 seconds, I was so happy.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, so close.
It was so close to being like a perfect hole-in-one, and then it just rolled past. So sad.
Wow. That's still a good setup, though. I think.
Walter, did you get a hole-in-one in the world record? I can't remember.
Nah, I never got that.
Because
Yeah, I've never
Samurai's gotten it
gotten
once. I've gotten it once.
Yuzu got a really nice one.
Yeah. So it's fairly rare, but it's always nice to see.
I think I'm more likely to get trapped behind the other cage than I am to get hole in one. That's definitely happened to me at least 3 or 4 times. I'm gonna grab some water real quick.
Yep.
Don't say anything cool without me.
So Walter on the top right is going to be coming up to the scripted event that takes... I don't actually remember how long it takes. It's like 4 minutes or something. Where Trico kind of just wanders around for a little bit. There's definitely fast and slow ways for Trico to do that. That's not really up to the runner. Trico's just gonna do what Trico wants to do. So most runners will take a break, go get a drink or whatever during that time. And obviously any of our runners here are free to do that if they would like to as well. Let me throw out some chat commands to refresh y'all on what's going on over here. And Sancho will be happy to talk more about Nightbot. Cues. Thank you. See, I just had to threaten him a little bit. When Sancho gets back, he'll be happy to talk more about Fight the Stroke, for which we have raised more than 1,200 euros. Thanks to all of you being so amazing. Bless you? Question mark? I think that was Sancho just banging around. I'm a little sad that nobody got poop, since Coliseum/water puzzles is such a hot spot for it.
Oh, that's sad. It feels like it's almost guaranteed to happen in an all barrels race, though.
I feel like it sort of is. Like, I don't remember the last time that we had an all barrels race where somebody didn't get it.
I want to say the one that we did, it was like 3 out of 4 of us got it.
Mm-hmm. Because I got it, you got it, and Yuzu got it.
Mhm.
I think. Or maybe it was JK. I don't remember. But the difference between my world record and your second place, because I think you are second, Sancho, is like 2 minutes, which
Yeah.
is just bonkers for a completely RNG trophy.
And they were both all barrels, right?
Yeah. And I mean, we know that you can get poop super, super early, but we just don't know how.
Gosh, what if it has to do with like the amount of barrels you fed Trico on a new account, like before going into that next run,
Yeah, it could be.
where it's like
mean,
calculating it? Or like Nimue skip, like you go to a specific spot, like you fed them all the barrels up to Coliseum, and then you just restart,
right.
and it keeps them.
I mean, it clearly has some kind of tracker for things like intensive care, so maybe things like that matter.
Who knows? Maybe it like... I mean, legit.
Yuzu, middle left, and Aiden, middle right. Both pretty neck and neck at this phase of Cage Puzzle. Meanwhile, Walter on the top right is just going to be going into this scripted event.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a quick break.
Sure.
All right, we also hit the
File-
2-hour
file
mark.
under the things that has also never happened to me before. I guess I was distracted by the chat and I missed the wave that Trico makes.
Oh no!
Oh, no.
I have to wait for him to
Make another wave.
crawl back onto shore, shake himself dry, climb up back onto the ledge, jump back off again. Ugh. But that's
You know, it was funny because I was watching your screen and I saw Trico like being a little weird on that hill, and I was like, "Is he pooping?" But it must have just been him climbing back out.
That's fun. Well, since we hit the 2-hour mark, I think we can once again talk about what we're doing today, which is
Fall.
Theothon, a marathon where we're also doing a speedrun charity live stream created by the Team ICO Speedrun in honor of our beloved community member Theo, who passed away in July this year. Theo was a great runner of TLG, and he quickly nested his way into our community and our hearts. His progress was quick, and his passion and love for the game was far greater than anyone else. Despite Theo's physical condition making it difficult for him to even play video games, his absolute courage to push through and help others was astonishing. He was incredibly brave in his battle, and he would never let that dampen his spirits. I do know that after he had experienced his stroke, this is me just going off script a little bit, there wasn't a stream that I streamed where he wasn't in chat, and he did attempt a couple other runs himself of Last Guardian, but even though he couldn't run it very much himself anymore because he had trouble controlling the left side of his body for a while, it didn't stop him from popping into every other... Basically, if you were on Twitch and you were the only one running The Last Guardian or even just playing through it, Theo was there. It's like a 100% chance guarantee that Theo was going to be in chat, which was super awesome. There was never one where I popped in and he wasn't already like giving encouragement and cheering them on and just talking about how adorable Trico was. And so, as it says, Theo went above and beyond with his kindness to us all. And so to better represent that spirit that he left behind, we've decided to raise money for Fight the Stroke Foundation to help improve the lives of young stroke survivors so less children have to fight through what Theo did. And the charity itself, guided by the belief that all children should be equal at birth, Fight the Stroke wants to ensure a better future for young stroke survivors, children with the disability of cerebral palsy, and their families, because an accident at birth should not dictate the future of these children. Fight the Stroke believes in the opportunity to offer a dignified life to those who experience a major trauma, as brain injury at birth or at a young age, so that they can look at opportunities and strengths more than at areas of improvement. My boss has 2 kids with disabilities. One has cerebral palsy, the other one is missing an arm and a leg. And the one who's missing the arm and the leg likes to say she's not disabled, she's just different abled. Fight the Stroke believes
Absolutely.
in the role of the family as a critical success factor for the rehabilitation and post-trauma care process, and I've seen that actually in action. I believe that wholeheartedly myself. And they offer a range of motor rehabilitation projects, both online and offline, to support those affected by cerebral palsy and strokes, to strengthen both the mind and body, led by tutors and supervisors experienced in physiotherapy, neuropsychomotor therapy at the developmental age, occupational therapy, and adapted motor sciences. So thank you to all who've given so far. We've gone way over what we thought we were going to be trying to raise, which was just, what, 250 euros?
I think
And
so.
and now we've quintupled that at 1,265 euros and one whatever a penny is in euros. 1/100th of a euro. What is a penny in euros?
That is a
It's
good
a cent.
question.
It is a cent.
Oh,
Is
it is
it-
a cent? Okay.
Yeah.
And 1 cent. And so we raised the goal one last time to 1,500, but even if we don't reach that, it's already gone way above and beyond. And we're super excited to see how these runs go from here. Then we've got some nice comments we want to leave about Theo, and we've got a Last Guardian duet that I wrote and performed with Ruby. It's an original song, and we did this basically because Theo, like, oh man, it was probably just a couple weeks before he passed, redeemed on my channel with his 25,000 channel points that he had for me to make a song for him. And he wanted it to be I Thought I'd Lost You from from Bolt, but about Trico and Boy. And I didn't have the heart to do that, but we're doing this song in honor of him. So where are we at now on the run, Sable? Catch us back up after me just being a
Yeah.
blabbermouth for a while.
Well, Walter top right and me bottom right are both. Well, I mean Walter's ahead, just finishing up the scripted event there, and I'm still kind of hanging around in it in the same section. Once again, let me post the order of people here on the screen, but Yuzu on the middle left and Aiden on the middle right are still neck and neck. Yuzu currently just a smidge ahead, both trying to pop out of the cage, but Yuzu is, of course, getting trolled with
Oh my
being
goodness.
perfectly lined up in the pod. One of the worst ways to have the game treat you there.
Oh gosh.
But it's
That's funny.
a good fix. There we go. And then Blackberry will be coming up onto Cage Puzzle, top left, shortly after the confrontation with the other Trico. She's the one who knocks the cage down, so that will get started right away. Hopefully Walter can get Mind Skip.
It's not your skip.
I almost got it on the first try.
It
but
looks like
sadly I
it.
didn't get it.
It's always tempting to see the boy like reach out his arms and just almost get it, and then not quite.
It's really, really difficult. I think you just have to get a bit lucky.
Yeah.
Right, it can't be just the inputs. Like, I bet you could have the exact same input set up and it might not always work, even.
And I wonder, like, I don't really know. I wonder if it has something to do with the camera. Probably not. But who knows with this game. Hey, Stocky. Nice to see you again.
The fact that he reaches for it, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Walter, were you the first one to ever get it, or was it?
Yeah.
Right, God. So like just the fact that you kept trying, I would have like after about 10 tries been like, okay, so this clearly doesn't work.
I think I got really, really lucky. I mean, I thought maybe this is possible. It seemed pretty similar to the mirror ledge skip that you do at the beginning of the game. And I looked at the ground and I saw that there's a little, a little thing that you can jump off from. And I just tried it a bit and I got it pretty quickly in just a few attempts. So and maybe if I had tried it like for 10 minutes and hadn't gotten it,
which is likely.
Yeah, it is likely. And maybe I would have thought, this is completely impossible.
Wow.
I mean, that's basically what happened to me. I had that thought for the original task. I was like, this would be a great thing to skip. And I tried doing the same thing. And I don't think that I ever even got the boy to like reach for it. And so I was like, this isn't really a thing. And I just dropped it, you know? But I'm glad that somebody tried it again. And that's part of why having an actual community of people for runs is valuable, because even if you have one person who's doing all of this like glitch hunting and stuff, they can still miss things, or you just need to look at the same problem with different eyes.
Or like he said, just kind of get lucky doing the exact same thing, but for some reason it worked that time.
Because we certainly would never have had that if it was just me trying to figure stuff out, you know?
Yeah.
So Walter on the top right is going to be coming up to the fight right before White Tower skip. We'll see how Trico handles it. My Trico tends to be pretty pacifist during that run, or that part of the run, and I think that's generally people's impression, is that he doesn't handle that fight super well. But sometimes you can get a very cooperative Trico, and he'll do very well.
It's really weird that in this particular fight he doesn't kill any armors at all.
Yeah, he just baps him on the face.
Is there anything that you found that you think helps with this fight, Walter?
No. Nothing. just be lucky, I guess.
Oh, okay. Wow, I hadn't tried that.
Yeah, it's a good strat.
So I
for
actually
the whole game.
I noticed in Walter's world record the way he kind of activated those armors. He didn't. Sometimes I run farther than he does, and I think maybe if you keep them farther down the tunnel, you might have better luck. Because since I started copying him, I felt I was getting better fights.
So you're just picking on them to keep them from making their way down, so that as Trico gets to them, he's hitting them individually?
Well, you can, when you spawn them, if you run farther, it seems like they come out and follow you. But if you just trigger it, like trigger the music, they don't come out until like Trico comes.
Ah, interesting.
I'll try and demonstrate it, because I'm not even sure if Walter even noticed what he was doing.
Yes. I just optimized it, so I could turn around a little bit earlier, so Trico comes earlier.
Yeah, my goal has always just been like to get, since Trico seems to be doing poorly, like I just leave the fight to him and try to get one of them to get close enough to the edge that I can knock him off. So it's one less that Trico has to deal with, but that would come at the cost of doing what you just described, which is probably better.
Even in that fight, Walter, you ended up killing 3 of them, right? Just then.
I think so, yeah.
You had to behead 3 of them for that fight.
But it was fine. It was a good fight.
Yeah.
Sometimes the boy doesn't really grab the armors real perfectly, or Trico knocks them out of your hands again, and it can be a really messy fight.
That's the worst, when you're like a fraction of a second from pulling their hats off, and then Trico just taps it and it goes flying out of your hands.
So what direction, I never actually figured it out, what direction is the joystick input to be running at the end of this crumbling bridge here? Because I know if you push in the direction you're supposed to go, the camera doesn't have the inputs right.
It's down-ish.
Oh, mostly down?
Yeah, mostly down, which is
Oh,
is
I would have
really
never.
counterintuitive.
I was trying to go like right up instead. That's so weird.
But it
It's
also
also-
depends. It depends on where you land too.
What? Of course it does.
It's also a bit tricky because the direction changes midway through the
Right.
Yeah.
the cutscene.
Mm-hmm.
So you end up like zipping over to the side real quick. So White Tower skip, which Walter is going to be working on, and I'm going to be working on in just a second. You're meant to go all the way around this White Tower to get to the top to push off those eyeballs, because obviously Trico is afraid of those. And so you do this bunch of platforming, and there's ledges everywhere and all sorts. Or you can just do... Walter is going to do the jump across
He
method,
did
and
the
I'm going to
jump
go
across. Yeah.
for the same side method. Either way works. Where you kind of just jump into the V of the scaffolding where you're not really supposed to be, and then you can walk up the beams and grab the top of the bridge. And so you end up not doing basically any of White Tower, hence White Tower skip, because we're creative with our names.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot more complicated than it looks. It's one of the harder tricks to get a grasp on, but I think that once you start to get it, it mostly becomes second nature. You can still kind of have wonky days, but
And
it's
it is the
definitely a
biggest.
valuable skip.
It is the biggest time save, isn't it, in the game?
It definitely used to be. I think... I'm trying to think if there's anything... Like, drawbridge is nice, but I don't really think that compares at all.
Especially because, I mean, all the parkour you're doing, it's not impossible to fall going around that White Tower, and the checkpoints for it aren't too super nice.
Yeah, and Yuzu actually made a good point here. Yuzu on the middle left and Aiden on the middle right are both basically identical in their runs going into this scripted event. And so it will come down to how their Trico chooses to behave outside of their control that might cause them to switch places.
Yay,
So
scripted
Aiden
event
were
race.
We're also really close in the last race.
Wait, I want to see this race, but I also got to go to the bathroom.
We'll let you know how it goes.
Okay, thanks.
I meant the bathroom, not the... That doesn't even make sense. That wasn't a joke, sorry. Crash.
I was like, because our video is still behind what's actually happening, obviously. So to us, Aiden has already left. But I forgot that, and I was like, "Oh no, he left before he did the button mashing."
That's funny.
Because
Wow,
I did that once.
Mm-hmm.
I did that once during like an actually really nice like almost PB run. I was like, okay, finally I get to take a little break, and I left before I did the button mashing to start the scripted event, and I came back and I was like, no. That was like 5 minutes.
Right now, Aiden's is like almost exactly 3 seconds behind.
So usually what it comes down to for that scripted event is there's a pillar that Trico's going to kind of turn around, and then he'll put his foot on like a tiny pillar. Sometimes he will hesitate to put his foot on that pillar, or his head will kind of get stuck on the pillar that he's turning around, and that is what causes the time bleed if you lose during that scripted event.
I didn't even I mean, I would have noticed now, but I hadn't even realized how close they were.
And nobody's gotten dropped by their Tricos yet.
Mm-hmm.
At least as far as I've seen. Which is good. None of these scripted catches are going poorly, which is good. And Blackberry top left has fed Trico the barrel that he needs in order to keep going. So Blackberry's going to come out of the cage area, up through some of these pillars, and will be starting this scene that Yuzu and Aiden are currently in the middle of.
Yeah, it's not too far behind.
No.
Somehow Aiden's lost 2 seconds already. Just jumping up to and then putting him back down. All
Go,
right, so
Trico.
Usu went around the left side of that pillar. And so did Aiden. It's been whacked the boy against the pillar.
Yuzu's Trico, and I wanna take a look at Aiden's here. Yeah, both of them chose not to step on that little pillar. They stepped over it, which is helpful for getting them to go fairly quickly. Meanwhile, Walter in the top right has just had his Trico do a successful fly across those pillars instead of doing the jumping path. Great way to save time, and it's fairly easy to set up.
I'm just fascinated by this cutscene.
It's so good.
Like, Aiden's Trico started pawing earlier, but then pawed for longer. I was like, is it catching up? No. Now he's like 9 seconds behind. So.
Well, you know, he said earlier that his Trico
Yeah.
didn't deserve to have the spears taken
That's
out,
true.
so...
We'll time it by the splash. Okay, so... Splash. 1.
I stand by that.
All right, you lost about 6 seconds to Usu there. 6 or 7 seconds.
But I also stopped to show Trico happy dance.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Well, that's worth it.
It is worth it.
Usu,
Walter,
how could you not do that?
I feel like your Trico, Walter, like, didn't want to come around that corner.
Nope, definitely didn't.
Because I tabbed out to get the invite for the Team ICO Discord, and I came back and Trico was just peeking his head around. Like a goober.
I actually had to reset there, so maybe that's
Oh,
why it
that's...
took so long.
Yeah, it must have been it.
He threw me off.
Is it possible to fall down there where you did, Walter, without breaking your leg?
It is, actually. You can step onto a little platform there. It's kind of hard to see, but sadly I missed it. It's a little bit difficult, that skip.
All right, 2 mine skippers going at the same time. This could change the lead. Aiden gets it. But that definitely shows how hard it is.
Have you ever gotten mine skip? You saw Aiden?
Yeah. I just got it.
Oh, you did?
Hey.
Ooh!
Oh, I shouldn't have.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. And from that 10-second, being 10 seconds behind, Aiden now takes the lead.
Yep.
I think it was like the 5th or 6th try.
Still, you went for it.
Still, it
Even
feels
then,
good.
that's
Yeah.
a huge time save.
And it's so nice as far as speedrun skips are concerned because it's literally free. Like, you're just standing there anyway. So try it as many times as you want. It does not matter. If you get it, it's worth it. It's not like White Tower, where, like, at some point you probably should choose to just go around the tower, you know? You are gonna be there, so you might as well do it.
Never. I will never go around that tower after that first casual playthrough. Oh, nice landing. That's why I always sing when I get there. And with every passing hour, I'm so glad I skipped White Tower. Way down deep inside, I want a PB. He wants PB.
And there's so many nice ways to do White Tower skip as well. Like, it's
Yeah.
very flexible as far as skips are concerned. Walter
Mhm.
does the across method. I do the same side method. Lots of runners do the same side method. There's my baby method, where you go down to the end of the bridge and it's one less jump that you have to make. Like, you don't have to make the jump into the V because there's an open V you can walk into. And it has a nice backup. You don't necessarily die if you fall. So there's all sorts of options for people who want to learn White Tower Skip. But if you want to learn Last Guardian, White Tower Skip should probably be one of the last things that you focus on. It's much more productive to focus on just learning how Trico works and understanding your way through the game before you start really obsessing over White Tower.
Mhm. Yeah. Of course, I did the opposite. Got to White Tower and I obsessed over it. But I do feel like it does help you, like, that's kind of an exercise that helps you understand just the overall game physics a little better.
This is true, yeah, for sure.
So it's definitely helping you just get a better feel for the game overall.
So Walter has completed top right, the fight with the other Trico. I, on the bottom right, am going to be going into the fight with the other Trico here in just a second. And this whole section kind of revolves around the number of spears that Trico gets in him. If he gets too many spears and they're visible to you, the player, the boy will say, "Hang on, Trico, I'll pull it out." Correction. He'll say, "Hold on, Trico, I'll pull it out," lest you think that I am not truly a fan of this game.
It's a question
Anyway.
like if you even played it before.
Uh-huh. Do you even play, bro? But if he has too many spears, the boy will say, "Hold on, Trico, I'll pull it out." And you need to pull out spears before you can progress. Sometimes that can be a problem, because if the spears are in a place where the game thinks that you can reach them, but you can't, then there's just nothing you can do. And you have to reset the checkpoint, which is a big time loss. So ideally, you want to kind of carefully manage Trico's spears and keep an eye out for what's going on to make sure that if you do have to reset, you do it as soon as possible.
Looks like Usu's fight. Oh no, Usu's still got an armor to kill. I was gonna say I thought her fight caught her up, but nope.
Yeah, Yuzu and Aiden both still in the middle. Still pretty neck and neck coming up to White Tower Skip. If Aiden struggles with White Tower Skip and Yuzu doesn't, then that could be a big determining factor, so we shall see.
Usu's having a lot of trouble with that final armor. It was in a place where she couldn't grab it, and then Trico just pokes it. That is the weakest poke I've ever seen. Will someone kill it? Yay! No! Goodness, this armor.
Man, Trico's such a troll.
Finally. We finally got it. Wow. And that's a really good illustration of how the AI can really slow you down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were, as you were basically say, they were Buzzle and Buzzle, like right next to each other. That's what we call Trico's beak muzzle. A Buzzle. You've named all the different parts with like both the quote-unquote anatomically correct terms and your side terms. Can you remember them all? Can you walk us through them?
Feet are his peats and his poots, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's got a Buzzle. I don't remember what the rest of it is, though.
You've got to have that image somewhere. I'm sure I could find it.
Surely I still have it. I never delete a single thing off of this computer, and then I wonder why it's full.
Cloaca, of course.
Oh, sure.
Poot, Buzzle. I will find it. I'm sure you DM'd it to me at some point. I just have to search the right words. I'll just.
About Horntenna.
That needs to be included.
Okay,
I
there are
don't-
only. Go ahead.
I don't think I had anything for his horns.
Horn 10. I just searched Trico. Imagine how many times you and I have said that back and forth to each other in a DM Sable on Discord.
I mean, that doesn't... Must be
Two-
170 is what I was gonna say.
227.
Yeah, that seems about right.
That does seem about right. If I start with, I think it'll be better if I start with old.
So Yuzu and Aiden got White Tower skip fairly readily. So that's not going to be a big time differentiator between the two. Blackberry is almost done on the top left with the scripted event and will start to make the trek over to White Tower.
Go Blackberry.
Meanwhile, Walter in the top right is just now waking up from having fed Trico all those barrels, which is the part that I in the bottom right am still in the middle of. And so Walter is in Pink Sky, which is the end game.
Pink skies. Do 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 do. Nothing but pink skies.
Villain says search for has image, but that assumes that we have not also sent each other 50 million images.
6.
Oh, really? That's
We've only
it?
said the word. We've only said the word 6 in. Oh, like search for an image, or
Search
just
for
the
has : image, because then it'll bring
has
up like all the
image.
attachments.
All right. The first one I see is a seal with glasses on it saying "seal" with it.
Okay,
then-
so clearly that won't work because you send me reaction images all the time.
479. I'm gonna start with the back. Oh, the second image I ever sent you was a Sakiorda picture.
Appropriate.
Mm-hmm. Gosh, we do send a lot of reactions to each other. But I can scroll through these faster than reading the text, at least.
Yeah. As Walter is heading up into like the main Pink Sky area, the reason that runners will destroy the armors in the previous section, even though they're not bothering us at that point, is because when Trico is coming up through this tower, he doesn't have to fight them. So it saves a lot more time to spend some time earlier on killing them than for Trico to notice them and get angry and fight them and then have to calm down and then like refocus and you know, keep going. That's a lot more time than just killing them before we ever see them.
Kinda may have to give up. Oh, there's the Voldemort sketches. We've been friends for too long. That's the problem. Can we just can we reboot?
Blackberry just trying to get some launches off of that rock, but I tell you what, Mind Skip can be brutal. Mind Skip is
Yeah,
more
Mind
of like a nice little bonus than like a I hope I
Yeah.
get this, you know?
I still try it, but I've never actually gotten it.
Me either.
But like I said,
Oh.
it's free.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do Treekmas again this year?
Hopefully, I haven't even started on the task, which is very late for me. That task takes a long time. Like with destroying those armors on the way up, Walter's going to be trying to destroy the eyeballs on these towers now instead of later.
I got
when
a
it's
sick
kinda more
blind
convenient.
shot.
Yay! I will always consider this to be my least favorite portion of the game.
I will not speak of what happened to me during this part of my run.
We'll just have to wait and see. It slows down so much, and the checkpoints are so icky.
Oh, the checkpoints are brutal. Like if you die on those gargoyles, like that's the end.
Yeah. It's
Looks
just
like
not as interesting.
Yuzu as well tried to do the thing, and the boy was being a butterfingers. Of
Good
course.
try, Usu. I heard her mic come on at some point, but then she didn't say anything.
Trico,
Still going
get
for
up.
it, Usu.
I'm
my
watching
goodness.
Walter's Trico just like absolutely be a butthead.
Oh, that section. Just getting up. Yes. So this whole area is my least favorite area. That spot right there is my least favorite spot in the
For
entire
sure.
game.
Like Trico is such a troll. Even if you're playing like immaculately, Trico can just be like, I think I'm just gonna boost. I'm not gonna jump.
And then yeah. And then you're
That's
like,
it.
no, jump. And he's like, oh, you want me to go back inside?
Yeah. Goal of the section that Walter is coming into, top right, and I, bottom right, will be coming into in just a second, is to create a bridge. We're trying to bring two separate sections of a bridge up together so that Trico can get a real long runway. He needs to build up some speed for himself. And so we'll be going back and forth between towers in order to hit some levers to pull those bridges up, which is the purpose of all of this platforming. The platforming is very tight in this section, kind of meant to be like your final test of how well you can control your chicken dog creature. So the corners are going to be real tight. You've got very little room to maneuver. And it can make it very easy for Trico to disobey you, even if you're giving just simple commands.
Yeah. You can see the handiwork of the earlier mirror blasts.
Mm-hmm.
Or stained glass blasts. You know, bottom right, perfect storytelling. Like you reach this moment in the game, you've got the mirror, and you're just like, yeah. You know it's not gonna work anymore.
Yeah,
It's
it
just such a
dawns on
triumph.
you.
It's just such a triumphant feeling and such a good lead up to that moment. Because you're like, but I has a mirror. So if this game had a new game plus, mirror the whole time, what do you think? What would you do to
Maybe?
make it?
Yeah, maybe mirror the whole time. Maybe like I feel like maybe switching so that you could also control Trico would be too
Oh
much.
yeah.
Like if you could just toggle between which character you were.
Or just have two player like with Yorda.
Yeah, like that would be fun.
I bet it'd be really hard to control.
Probably.
Like how do you manage a giant body like that in that architecture?
in order to, because the game's really not that hard if you just put the boy on Trico's back and then be Trico the entire time. So
Oh,
in
yeah.
order to negate that, you'd probably have to do like each of Trico's front legs is a different button, and you just like have to alternate so that he walks. Like make it intentionally really hard.
Okay, so maybe there's a saddle, and when boy sits in the saddle, then you use two controllers. So you got your thumbs for one controller, two joysticks, and then your toes for the other one.
There you go. It's
And
all four legs.
and you're controlling his poots and his peats. So it's like worse. That'd be exactly what this game's New Game Plus would be like.
It would be perfect. It would be even worse than the original game, and that's exactly what it needs to be.
Oh, commands from the start.
Could be,
I mean,
yeah.
That would help not a whole lot, but that'd be better than nothing.
It would be better than nothing.
Boy
Alright,
gets a
watch
stick.
what happens to me at this end of this bridge, this breaking bridge. This is what happens when you don't get optimal cutscene mechanics.
No.
Didn't see that far.
I
Just
love
fell
that
right
it's
off.
like it's so small, and you just see this little like
Yep.
blur of motion just whoop.
I'm sure that's happened to people, and they've just been like, "Wait, what happened?" Because they didn't even see themselves fall.
Oh look, my Trico is doing nothing? Cool. This mirror section was just oh I was so frustrated. Because I spent longer than Walter took to get all of the eyeballs, and I got one of them. And then just had
Oh
to
my God.
abandon it. And then Trico like wouldn't even continue like up to the top. Oh, it was so frustrating. How
Oh,
I just saw Aiden like hit the ground. How did he miss Trico? It looked like he landed right on top of him. Because no matter how far you fall, if you fall onto Trico, you won't break your leg.
right.
So runners are trying to land like on Trico's butt, and it looked like to me Aiden landed on Trico's butt, and yet he got like catapulted off or something.
I still remember the time like I just took a goofy angle trying to jump onto the fallen train, and it decided that the boy had just fallen off, like when you trigger the animation by jumping on the train, and so literally he limped around for like almost a minute, even though he only fell like about a meter and a half. It's just like I didn't. That's so frustrating. Got two nursing Tricos at the same time,
Yeah.
kind of.
And very sadly, because
Ooh.
Walter Walter's almost glitching into the floor just like Yuzu. Sadly, because I want to watch all the stuff at White Tower, I'm gonna have to dip. Husbando needs a ride home from work, so I'm
can
gonna have
walk.
to go. Yeah, he'll be here in a couple hours. But
Thanks so much, Sable.
thanks
You'll
for
be
hanging
with
out.
us in spirit because
Thank you.
we're still watching your VOD. So
Yeah, we shall see. But it's kind of sad that I don't get to watch the White Tower conclusion of all of these runs. But good luck to the rest of the runners, since I'm the only one who's not running live.
actually, you're gonna be playing on your PSP5, right? While you drive to go pick up Husbando.
Exactly.
Gosh, I wonder how fast that thing would overheat. Oh, scaffolding falling on Usu.
Oh, and also, before I leave, Sancho, here. I'm gonna paste that in chat, in case
Oh yeah,
we need
thank you.
one final reminder of who is
I
who
think
in this race.
I'm finally naturally remembering who's who, but it did take a while. So yeah, Blackberry, top left.
Who just did
and
White
then-
Tower skip.
Yep, and then Walter, top right. And as Blackberry mentioned, lovely being next to Walter Walter's in first place. Blackberry is in not first place. Then we have Usu and Aiden in the middle. Usu's very middle, Aiden's right middle. And Aiden's just a little bit ahead of Usu. Usu's got to feed the barrels to Trico, and Aiden already has. And then, bottom right timeout is Sable Dragon Rook's VOD.
So good luck, everybody. Hope you all do well.
Thank you, Sable. Bye.
And
Sable.
obviously, thank you so much, chat, everybody, for being wonderful. We're at $1,265. Let me toss that quick donation link for Fight the Stroke. You all have been wonderful, and I appreciate you all.
So, since it's just me as commentator now, feel free to be more talkative.
We'll try.
Share about anything you want. I'm fine with it. I'm sure we'll all enjoy hearing it about it.
That was an interesting thing that never happened too. Is there's a checkpoint reset at the point where during you know, the cutscene where Trico's not in a safe spot on the tower. You're supposed to wait till the camera swings back, and that is your cue that it's safe to checkpoint reset. But my camera actually never switched back. It actually cut back to Trico wanting pets, and that has never happened before. Interesting. After this jump here, and so just however many times you run the game, it's just like weird little unexpected things happen.
Yeah, you just never know what's gonna go on. Alright, we have Walter in the top right now connecting the two sides of, it makes me think of a Hot Wheels track. Like when you connect, you know, the lines are little track pieces together. Getting ready for the awesome inspirational flight moment. Woohoo! I think I've played... Aww. So I've played Chariots of Fire music before and Rocky music for this moment. What do you think? What should we go with today for this inspirational flight takeoff? Anybody? What's a good song for Trico's about to fly for the first time for realsies?
As long as it's not I Believe I Can Fly. That's just
Okay.
not that. Anything but that.
Oh, the lag got me. He's already in the air. Oh well. We'll get the next one. I think I played the Rocky theme on the recorder. I don't even know if I remember it. Let's see. Okay. Well, just remembering I got the notes still. So, for those watching, wondering what, like, who's where, Walter is definitely safely in the lead at this point, and Sable is safely in second place. With Aiden and Usu, it's really close. Anything can happen here that could change their positioning. Aiden's about to do the mirrors. How are the mirrors, or how are the stained glass eyes going, Aiden, for you?
Good. But now I just gotta make Trico go up without issues. And I think he's got it.
Yay, that'll be the first one. Oh my gosh, Walter.
It's a little bit scuffed.
Yeah, that was scary. Boy, sometimes Trico takes forever to shoot with his tail. And sometimes he just doesn't even do it. Do you think it has to do with, like, his positioning?
Yeah,
Feels
I think
like
I
it.
was at the bottom of the balcony, and his tail didn't have a direct line of sight there where I wanted to
Right.
shoot.
Mm-hmm.
I have had so much unfortunate stuff happen to me to run.
Like what?
Whoa.
Like, the second, like, turtle guards, it was, like, the last two guards, and then Trico, like, knocked me down the abyss, and I, like, died and had to reset the entire, like, chain grab and fight.
Oh gosh.
Really not fun.
I felt like I got wrecked in the first armor guard room, just pulling
Oh,
that
yeah.
chain. And then when I got to the next armor room there, oh, it was just, it got even worse. Just the classic memes, though.
Yeah, yeah. Those two rooms
I
really
think
can
actually-
snowball.
Once I was pulling the chain and I got halfway pulled and my finger slipped. That was just like, oh my god.
Heck am I?
Worst. Oh, and Jericho just knocked me off. We'll see it
Oh, no.
eventually.
As we were saying,
Almost
Any-
to my death.
anything can happen for Usu to catch. Almost to your death, not quite, but almost.
It was so close. Jeez.
Villain just said, I love when he stands in my beam right before firing. Something tells me that villain doesn't actually love that.
Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. There's a really risky jump coming up that saves 3 seconds. If I fail it, the checkpoint reset will be brutal. And that might give... I gotta go for it.
Oh, okay.
Gotta go for the risky strats. Oh, Trico, you didn't get it. Trico's just staring off. Come on, now's Draco sitting down. I won't need to do this risky jump.
Draco's just gonna... Walter doing a good job of getting the plinths hit whilst not having to destroy the armors. Pretty fun. How do you think that fight went, Walter?
The elevator fight, you mean?
Yeah.
It was pretty okay. I got caught, but at least I didn't die. It's a pretty difficult section with if you just light up the mirrors, it's very, very easy to get caught because the timing
Right.
is so tight.
Mm-hmm.
I pulled off that risky jump. It's epic.
Nice. All right, we'll see it.
It's a
3-second
really cool
game.
strat when you light the mirrors because you can skip the whole fight essentially.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it looks really cool.
Right, I'm coming up to the last kind of puzzle climbing bit before the end fight of the game.
Still looking to see Aiden's cool jump. It hasn't happened yet.
When Draco's going around the side, jumping up, it's right before those horrible jumps.
Oh, I see. I see. Yeah, that is a cool jump. I tried before to like. There's some scaffolding on the other side. I've tried to jump that in that other direction. It doesn't seem possible, but it looks like it should be possible to go around the other way from a certain spot. That mirror just squeezed out. That was funny.
Yeah, unfortunately there's not too much going on during the platforming section that me and Aiden are on. The most interesting thing is definitely the fight at White Tower.
Yeah, we got two White Tower sections fights happening right now at the same time.
Yeah, Sable being on elevator.
But even here, Blackberry's not too far behind. Just gotta wake Trico up and head on out to the pink skies as well.
We've all pretty much stayed within the same section or two, like together.
Yeah.
It's not been like a massive gap.
Oh, and then Trico trolled the elevator for Walter a little bit.
Oh, come on,
All
Trico.
these fights are pretty interesting in terms of speedrunning as well, for possible skips. Because there's, I don't know, I think Yuzu said there's 2 phases sometimes in the last fight. So if you could get 2 phases instead of 3, that would save a bunch of time.
So, for some reason, in the last 2 fights, so not just the one inside the tower, but the one that takes place on the outside as well. So sometimes on the outside you also get just 1 phase rather than 2. But I've had it before where I've had 3 phases on the outside of White Tower.
Oh my gosh.
And then on the inside of White Tower you can have sometimes 1, 2, 3, or even 4 phases. But it's incredibly rare. I think 2 phase is the most common out of all of them.
Yeah.
We don't know what causes it, and I've only ever had it happen in like segmented practice, but yeah.
I guess the dream would be to have be on PB pace and then have the fewest number of phases for both.
Exactly.
Draco murdered me.
No! We'll see it coming up.
It was beautiful.
I died. It was wonderful. Oh no.
Did he kick you?
Yeah, he just nudged me off the edge.
Gosh, you were really spazzing out just holding on there for a while too.
Erika. That's big.
Just wants to give Usu a chance.
Makes the run more entertaining.
And And were you like trying to stand in a very safe spot? I don't think I'd ever seen you stand there before.
No, I was trying to do the really that risky strat where you take out the armor above you.
Oh, early on, and now we
Yeah.
know why it's risky.
Yeah.
Ah.
Oh, that was weird. It was like the explosion, like shook the whole tower.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh, or like what the way the tail rippled after hitting it, because it didn't look like
Yeah,
his
kinda
feet were
not.
super close. Yeah. Well, that wasn't the worst checkpoint ever.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm always 50-50 when I'm at that point. It's like, do I try to do that? You know, because doing it the intended way is also risky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's not you just playing the game. You could die here. You never know. Everything's risky.
Looks like we have another €100 donation from Out of the Game, supporting a good cause in memory
Wow.
of a good guy. Thank you so much for your €100 donation.
Awesome. That's another one of my friends.
Aww.
Wow. You got some nice friends.
Yeah.
I do.
It's amazing the lovely support network that's come along and helped with this charity event.
Well, all of these guys were familiar with Theo too because he would pop in on my streams. And the first time that I speedrun on stream this game, before I even joined the TIS Discord, Theo was there, and he watched us for all 4 hours of it.
Aww.
That sounds about right. That's cool. We are now $34.99 away from our goal.
Well, adjusted goal, let's say.
Yes, of our 4-time pushed away goal.
So it started at 250, went up to 500, went up to 750, went up to 1000, went up to 1.25.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Come on.
Hey, Blackberry, I hadn't seen that that puzzle thing done that way, that you can actually make the jump over to the bridge from the other side, the slanted bridge.
Yeah, everybody sort of does that a different way.
It isn't easy to jump off of Trico's head onto that slanted bridge. I've definitely just fallen off and had reset close to the bottom again. All right.
I'm gonna
Walter is
lower,
now.
I'm gonna lower my first drawbridge in just a second.
Woohoo!
Walter got a bunch of cutscenes to go through.
As long as Trico will stay still.
Yeah, this is the relaxing part of the game.
It's funny because it's the very end.
Yeah.
Unless you're on a PB pace and you're like, this cutscene, these scenes are not going fast enough.
Yeah.
Blah.
Yeah, I always look at the time and try to figure out how long exactly I have left to play and if it's gonna be a PB or where you're gonna end up at.
Oh, Trico, don't sit on me.
These fights in the final segment can really make or break your run.
Oh yeah, yeah. It reminds me of the 53 shadow fight in Eco, but it's definitely a lot more intense here. There's a lot more going on than just, I'm gonna stand by these stairs and try and hit the shadows as they come to me. It's funny, we talk about being the most relaxing point, but first playthrough, how how intense was this for you watching this whole scene?
Very.
I just remember my wife was sitting watching me as I was playing through, and we hadn't seen, like, I went in with 0 spoilers. I worked really hard at that. So we get to the part where Trico gets beat up by all the other Tricos, and we just started looking at each other like, this got dark.
I mean, it seems to be rated 12 for a reason.
Ordigen says, I hate seeing them fight. We all hate seeing them fight. I wish more of them, you know, didn't have helmets on that probably kills them when the tower's destroyed.
I mean, Trico survived from a really, like, great height in armor, so why couldn't the other ones?
Yeah,
I
that's
just
true.
thought about that the other day, you know, just like, you know, because Chico fell and got hit by lightning and then fell that far.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But it also broke the armor off of his head. I guess, yeah, who knows? And who knows what would happen to that armor afterwards. That was a launch. Aiden, that was great. I'm immensely satisfied whenever Trico deals with an armor by just launching it off the cliff.
Alright, coming into this white tower fight in a second.
Gosh. See all these softer, warmer hues on each stream at the same time. It's just such a gorgeous game.
I really like the stylistic choice they went with, but they have like quite good light shaders and a really good skybox, despite the design choice for like NPCs and stuff. Because it's not like hyper realistic or anything, but at the same time,
No.
like, you know, the whole lighting effect and just atmosphere and color palettes really like working well.
Yeah, yeah. I agree completely.
It's still kind of funny because you can kind of like tell that it was made for PlayStation 3 at first. At some point of the game you do see PlayStation 3 texture looking parts sometimes. But a game doesn't have to look realistic to be good.
No, yeah. Just look at Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Those ghosts don't look like real ghosts. Never heard anyone complain about that.
Power pellets do.
I can watch the stream now.
GG, Walter.
GG, Walter.
Thank you.
You
See,
got, I think, a free 10?
I think so.
really good run.
Awesome.
I mean, well, there was a delay. I think it's gonna be, I think it was closer to like a low 3.9 because of the delay.
Man, there were so many mistakes in this run, but I'm still very happy with it.
Yeah, for a race, that's a
That's
crazy
an
good
incredible
time.
one, yeah.
There's always so much that can go wrong.
Oh
It's-
yeah.
I mean, it's still like a second place run on the leaderboard, so you know.
Yeah, sure. And where are you guys at?
I'm at
Alright,
the first
so-
fight on White Tower.
Mm-hmm. Utsu's in the middle. First fight at right tower. Aiden's to her right, just a little further ahead, trying to deal with the armors in the
Oh.
below the elevator room.
Helmets! Helmets!
clearly having trouble just aiming because of helmet. Sable's bottom right, Blackberry's top left. Clock is bottom left. Ooh. That should be
Some trouble with indestructible balconies, which happens sometimes.
yeah.
Lightning-proof balconies.
Damn, I hate it when my balcony isn't lightning proof.
You'd think that would be standard by now, especially in that with when you've got a giant lightning rod for a tower to begin with.
For me, it always helps to aim a little bit at the edges of the balcony. I feel like that gives you a better chance to explode them.
Right, then like dead center.
Yeah.
That's so counterintuitive, but you're right, the dead
Yeah.
center often doesn't work.
Sable was saying that sometimes if you hit it on the seam, it won't count, which makes sense to me. So I try to avoid the corners and things.
So avoid the center and avoid the edges.
And avoid the corners. Yeah, that's how we do it.
So just don't aim for it then, I think. You can be slightly off center, but not too far off center. It'll work out.
Looks like Aiden's gonna go into the main tower fight in a second.
Mm-hmm.
Aiden is on a good pace. I think you're on BB pace even.
Would you
doesn't
say?
feel like it.
Would you say though that you could feel all the IL practice paying off overall?
Nah, not so much. Not so much this run. Definitely in some parts, I felt I did. I implemented some stuff. That was yeah. I did that. I still can't get over those first two armor rooms or turtle guard rooms.
Lost? Yeah.
What else? I did some. I got mine skip. I got the mirror ledge jump first try.
Yeah, mine skip was pretty pog. You were the only one to get that. Oh yeah, you're definitely. This is gonna be a PB. I have no doubt.
Huge PB pace.
So Aiden's
The time was,
current
334.
PB. Yeah.
No, my actual unofficial PB is 326 something.
Oh, okay. Well, this will still
Yeah.
be, better than the
We'll be
34. Maybe even the 26. I don't know, Walter. You'd be better at calculating from this point with
Oh, I have
average
no
fights.
idea, actually.
Okay. Sorry to put you on the spot.
I think he's maybe halfway through, so about 10 more minutes to go.
Okay. So maybe even sub 25.
What I love a marathon PB.
Oh, how rude.
Oh no. Whew. Draco saved me.
Oh,
I forgot to get the guys above. Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. Your stream had just lagged for a second, but it's fine. Oh, Trico saved you from getting taken into the room?
Yeah, totally. This first phase was really slow. Trico, get out of my beam! Oh.
Gosh, he saves you, but he almost knocks you into one of the two holes.
Wow.
Who's new now? Escape! Oh, this was us hearing you earlier. Wow, that was pretty clutch.
The button mashing here is so intense because
Yeah.
if you get caught, you're always so close to the door.
Yeah, no matter where you get caught. It's so true.
Mhm. You're just never safe. And a guy came up behind me as well, so I'm pretty angry about that.
How rude.
This is not good. Oh my god.
Just survive.
Survive. This guy up top is perpetually running in a circle.
Oh, I hate it when they do that.
Oh, jeez.
But you don't know how to stop them when Trico like tries to focus them. Boy.
Keeps running closest to me. Oh, I knocked him off. Woo! I think I'm gonna get like 3 phases in this fight too.
Just got a feeling.
Yeah. Whoa, I've got the guy. Wow! That was epic.
It's really interesting to hear all these sound effects and then see it like 30 seconds later. Meanwhile, Sable's got a really good time going too.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone hungry for Vienna sausages?
What sausages?
I don't know. I just when I'm not feeling empathetic towards Trico, which is sometimes, and then I see the tail, I just think I could go for some sausage right now. Gosh,
I used to love Vienna sausages when I was a kid, but
right.
then something happened. And now
You
I
realize they're terrible.
hate- yeah.
They really, there's like nothing redeeming about them. So didn't you end up getting 3 phases, Aiden, or did it stop?
Honestly, I don't know. That was so confusing.
What is happening with that armor that was trying to hug you?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. It was like Frankenstein right in my face.
That was hilarious. Oh my goodness.
Like, he didn't turtle down.
No, yeah, because he was so close. It was like he was
Yeah.
past, but he couldn't grab you either because you were like holding him at arm's length, like when you're you're like holding back like someone younger than you, shorter than you from hitting you, just by putting your palm on their forehead, extending your arm. They're just swinging and they can't hit
Story
you.
of my life.
Yeah.
Oh, Sable finished. GG's.
Sable finished with a 318, we'll say 20. I'm writing these down. These are estimates, because, you know, with when the timer starts for everybody was a little different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really hard to like press start on the timer, press start on a VOD, and then everything wasn't synced right, so yeah, the time was a little bit off.
Still impresses me that Sable can, you know, she mentioned like she hadn't done a full run in quite some time. She just sat down and did sub 320.
Yeah,
And
really
also-
amazing time. I think Yuzu is in the second phase of the fight right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's being trolled by Trico.
So Aiden is a little bit ahead.
Yeah. Gosh, that upper armor is really giving everybody problems.
There you go, kill the second ice shield guy. Now just the third phase to go. And hopefully it all goes smooth. It's a shame you can't just stand up by the wall so that you don't get like taken from behind.
Yes.
I find it really funny as well that like sometimes the armor will try and like grab the ice shield through the door, and so they'll just like keep walking into like the door.
But armors have some really fun antics in general.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing you got grabbed?
Yeah. What was the indication?
Uh, it was just like a sixth sense of mine, really.
Yuzu doing a really nice job taking out the shields. She had
Yeah.
2 shields spawn. That's a little bit unlucky. You always get 1, but the second one is optional. It happens sometimes, but not always.
It's more like, so there's always a second shield spawning in, it's just sometimes the suit of armor will drop it and just never pick it up.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've seen it happen before where I go to the door nice and early and the suit of armor has just dropped it and he's kind of looking at it as if to pick it up, but he doesn't manage to pick it up. And because he's trying to like back away from it to be able to do the grab, like pick-up animation, yeah, he just keeps backing out of the door closes and then he doesn't have the eye shield.
Makes sense, as opposed to like, for some reason the game sometimes spawns the shield and sometimes doesn't. It's more about the armor's AI, whether he grabs it or not.
You had the same thing on the second phase of the fight outside the White Tower, where
yeah, the stairs at the top
yeah.
of the stairs.
Yeah, same concept.
Interesting.
Same energy.
Well, Blackberry, your Trico is really reluctant to make the last flight to the White Tower.
He knows it's dark
He
times
doesn't want
ahead.
to
It
go.
is time. Trico,
There's
honey.
been a lot of weird stuff happening in my game today.
It wouldn't be a marathon without it, though.
Right.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, this morning I had, like, pretty much the worst Yorda I've ever had. So...
Actually, not a
I-
terrible run considering the lack of practice that
Mhm.
some of us have had as well.
Walter, is it possible to jump perfectly to that plant thing that so that you can like stick it right away on it without any stumbling?
I don't think you can immediately put the mirror into it, but you can see in the test that Sable jumped onto the fan without stumbling and without the boy falling over, so she was able to immediately run over to the what do you call it?
The plinth.
Plinth?
Plinth. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh man.
Right, and coming up on the last 7-ish minutes of the run, hopefully. Hopefully 7-ish minutes.
Ooh. Aiden has reached the flying monkeys phase. Which audio is playing right now, or is one?
I think it's Sable's audio playing.
Ah, okay. Could we switch it to Blackberries at some point?
Yeah, when I get a moment to do that. When I enter the cutscene, actually, I'll try and switch the audio.
Yeah, there will be a chance. Not right. It's okay if it's not right away. Go, Trico. Go on. Get out of here. It's the Harry and the Hendersons moment. Has anyone here seen Harry and the Hendersons?
Nope.
Yes. We actually
Oh, like 100
unironically
times.
watched it like just the other year.
Just the other
pandemic does that.
year. Uh-huh. That's just what I always think of in the final scene where you're trying to make Trico go away. Go on. Get out of here.
A lot of people don't know, but there was actually a Harry and the Hendersons TV show.
Oh my goodness.
Sitcom.
Tell us
Yeah,
more.
It didn't last long.
I can't imagine why.
I don't think I'm curious enough.
Wait, I've got to see how many episodes it went for. Hold on.
Well, I assume it didn't last long. Watch it have like 50 episodes.
It had 3 seasons.
3 seasons. Wow, it actually did better than I thought.
72 episodes.
Wow.
Holy cow. I'd never heard of it, or if I have, it just wasn't important enough to stick into my mind. When was the show? 91 to 93.
Oops.
Gosh, I'm not seeing any production pictures or anything here. Hold on.
Harry looked like the exact same from the movie.
Oh,
Sure,
okay.
like,
I
they
was
had the
kind of
same
curious.
suit.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I don't think it was the same guy
No,
in the suit originally. And he was pretty famous. He did a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
John
he was
Lithgow.
No. The guy actually, the guy in the suit. I'm pretty sure he was
Chewbacca?
Predator.
Oh,
I
Predator.
don't know. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, I want to look that up. Meanwhile, Aiden's time is looking good. So it might not be your unofficial PB.
It'll be a new unofficial. Wow,
It'll
yeah.
be a new official one.
But man, I know I can lower my time a lot. No doubt.
We
By the
believe
way,
it.
Aiden, do you feel like, because that was the case for me, that if you practice a specific IL a lot, that you kind of lose the feeling for the whole run?
Yeah, without a doubt. Actually, I think what I'm going to start doing, I'm going to start doing hour segments. So, like, do bad ending, then the next night kind of do another hour, and then finish it off the next night. I think that might be a better way to go for me at this point.
That makes sense. Yeah, because different ILs have different kinds of challenges to them. Hold on, I need to mute for a second.
Yeah, the ILs in
But
TLG,
no.
it's like practicing. Imagine like practicing like boss rush ILs. Like, I don't know, if you practice the same one over and over, yeah, you'll be fine on that one. But you know, like actually getting it in a full run
Heck.
with the others doesn't guarantee.
I totally forgot where I was. No, but I think the ILs definitely helped me for sure.
Yeah, it's really good practice. So in total, for anyone who doesn't know, there are 12 ILs in total, and each segment is about 10 to 20 minutes.
Suddenly remembering Alf.
And Aiden is coming close to finish.
We'll take it.
Yep.
Die, blob. Ah.
What was the A for?
Woo! Took
Did
2
it.
shots.
Well,
Yay.
It'll be interesting because the what am I trying to say? Where were you going? Were you doing it for a second? I thought it was like you were doing the touch all the tricos. Now is not the time. You're just like future time saves, baby. Boy, that tail took forever.
He was just hanging there.
Like
So actually,
slowly.
I think that's actually really encouraging. So when I got my 326, I thought I did really, really, really good. And this one, kind of around that time, I thought it really, really, really bad. So it's
Yeah.
definitely progress.
Absolutely.
What do you want, kitty?
Oh my god, I hear a cat.
Meow.
Kitty! Just give me attention.
My cat won't meow at me, he just gets in the way.
Oh.
It's like, I am the monitor. I am the computer screen. I am the keyboard.
You cannot escape me. I am technology. Cool. Seriously, boy, like, when he's being shaken, like, that would kill a human. That would break your spine in multiple places to be shaken like that.
Oh no! My channel point unlock emotes expired from yesterday. Now I can't spam Trollco.
I'll do it for you. I've got reverse and sunglasses version.
Ooh, sunglasses version, jeez.
Oh, I just did both of them twice. They look really weird together. They're just like standing back to back like twins. You can only tell them apart because one of them's wearing glasses. Oh, it looks like Sable's run ran all the way to the end of the, like the true ending, I think.
Don't slap me, don't slap me. Oh, thank you.
Don't slap me, don't slap me. Don't slap me.
You're gonna have a bad time.
Can I have a context as to what I'm seeing on all these screens?
A lot of things. Hi. Welcome to Theothon. As you can see, I'm not the best at creating layouts, but we're just coming to the end of our last Guardian race. Something to see, Osmond.
Yes, we had 5 runners total. The top right finished first and is no longer streaming. That's why I'm just showing it offline. Bottom right, finished second. Their run is just now finishing. Middle right came in third. And Usu should be finishing up soon. Middle left. Blackberry is not too far behind. Top left. Finishing up these.
Oh, look at my tail when you get the screen for it.
You mean like the way it's
The way
sitting
it
or
dropped.
So the feathers were in the way of the elevator.
well, you made it. Woohoo! Home stretch.
You're gonna shoot the elevator. Oh, come on.
Oh, we spent a good deal of time talking about Harry and the Hendersons, so there's that.
What's the order of races? So,
Oh,
you mean order of games? So, top. I can't tell my lefts and rights. Top left is Blackberry Dragon. Then it's Waltz the Conqueror. Then it's me. Then Aiden, and then Sable at the bottom.
unless you're asking about schedule.
To which this is the last game on the schedule before we have the
Oh.
ending ceremony.
No, it's just the one game. It just takes a long time.
Mhm.
And Usu with the kill shot on the screen. Any moment now.
That's what I get for not paying
Any
attention to where I'm
moment.
aiming.
Oh, you're still. Wait, I thought this was. I'm confused.
It's not shooting. What the hell?
Oh, you're aiming too high, I guess? I don't know. I feel like it... What percent of time do you think it actually works on the first shot? 54.
Not sure.
335, 54.
It's under 50%. Seems like it for me.
Yeah.
I think second try is the most common.
Yeah.
GG, Yuzu.
Thank you.
Gaga!
Gaga.
Which is also means like brother in Chinese. Like big older brother.
The more you know.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna wait for Blackberry to finish and then I'm gonna start the ceremony.
Almost there.
So close. I can taste it. For whatever reason, part of me was convinced I was seeing Eco on 2 screens here. I don't know why. Yeah, no Eco in this. It's been all Last Guardian. Wow. So, Usu, you want to know something weird?
What's that?
We were referencing the actress who played Sandra Dee in Grease.
Mm-hmm.
I just got on Twitter, right?
Mm-hmm.
She passed away.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah. At the age of 73 today, apparently, or you know, it was announced today. That's crazy. I'm just gonna stop talking about people. That's my plan from here on out. What do you guys think? Or do you have any enemies you want me to talk about?
A few actually.
Send me a list. I will I'll give them shout outs for $5 each. If we can shout out 7 people we want dead, we'll reach our next goal.
Well, you heard it, folks.
Oh man. Wow. Life is weird.
Yep. There's one. Where is the other thing I'm looking for? I've gotten too many TMs from too many different people over the past like 2 weeks. Oi.
Oh man. Schedule. It's been quite a ride. You've done a lot of hard work, Usu. Thank you so much for all you've been doing. I think it's more than people could even comprehend if they tried.
Yeah, it was definitely work. But I wouldn't be able to do it without the help of everyone else.
I mean, I think we can all agree the best part of this was the waiting screen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that collaboration. Love it.
I mean, it wouldn't have been as good if we weren't in a voice chat when we were making it. And it's just like crazy idea after crazy idea. Yes, let's do all of it.
I really like the summer flair of that, the vacation feeling.
Yeah, you're just hanging out.
Yeah.
I do want to add one thing to it. I want to get Wander using his like parachute and make it look like he's parasailing like in the background somewhere. Need to add that. All right. Go Blackberry.
Hey, it's alright, PC. You can load up the things I need you to load. Let's have a look.
You got it. it's just huffing and puffing by this point. Like, why did you do this to me?
Mother, why? Yes. Right, just going through my list of pings right now. That. And then, boop.
Aiden, do you have a goal time that you're working towards? Besides beating Walter, of course. Oh, is Aiden still here?
I'd say I kind of like like 320, 315 would be awesome.
315.
But yeah, ultimate goal. Yeah, I'd like something close to Walter, like 305 or something like that. I'd be very happy.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's what's great about this, like the speedrun. Like that's to say, I don't play any other video games, right? It's Shadow of the Colossus and this. I have no urge to get a PS5 or play anything else that comes out. Like, this is what I'll be playing. I've been playing Shadow since 2005. I've stopped. I don't see myself stopping running either of these games.
Your IL times have been really amazing. I think it's just a matter of time until you get a 315 or something like that.
A nice
Probably
low
even
310. Anyone else?
I hope I wasn't muted there.
You were muffled, but we heard you.
Muffled. Ah, that's what. Yeah, sorry about that.
We could hear you just fine.
Trying to multitask here. Kitty wants food. I've got like 10 messages too. Somebody wants to buy a picnic table. It's very nice.
The grain.
Oh, the beautiful grain. Yeah, that table sold quick too.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Can I ask how much it sold for? Is that okay to ask?
Yeah, 250. Wow. Which would be about $100 cheaper than actually quite a bit. At least, yeah, about $100 cheaper or 120 cheaper. I undercut all the competition because I can source my own lumber. And my dad has a bandsaw. So.
Oh wow! Okay. Yep. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, with the price of lumber now, like I've been doing a little bit better, but yeah, I think like this year I'll have to go through my books. I've sold at least 15 tables so far this summer.
Wow, that's really cool.
But yeah, it's a bit rough too, because you got to deal with just selling them on Facebook and Kijiji, and I've had people say, "I'll be there in an hour," and you sit around and they never show.
Why would they even say that then, or not get back to you and say that they couldn't?
You'd be surprised.
Those people stink.
I always assume something bad happened, like they got in a car accident, or oh no.
Or their wife got word, you're not buying that table.
Yeah, I'm sure that happens. It's actually it's mostly couples who buy the table, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna be putting the. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, but the one thing that everyone wants them delivered, and when I tell them the delivery price, like almost no one ever takes you up on it. Because I charge a lick.
You charge what?
I charge good for delivery.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah. It ups the price quite a bit. Especially if you got to drive like I'll get people from over an hour away who want it delivered. And then you say, yeah, it'll be an extra $100, 120 to cover my, my time, my gas, my wear and tear, and they're like, no way.
All right, time coming up.
I just shout at me and I'll press the space bar.
Time. All right, time.
GG's.
Okay, that's like an
Okay.
estimated 3:47 something. Again, the time is being
Yeah.
wacky, so GG.
Yeah. 347 something? What would you guesstimate around?
Around 3:47:30, maybe less.
Yeah, they're all
that's
gonna be
kinda
off,
what I
but
got.
there we go. There's our estimated RTAs. Congratulations, everybody.
Woo, we
I'm
did it.
actually happy with that
Yay.
time because I know that it's like, so it's 10 minutes more than my PB, and I felt like I had a run
Awesome.
where it was like a lot of stuff went wrong. So
Yeah. Uh-huh.
this I can definitely beat my PB. It just takes the right run.
Yeah.
100%.
It's also always more difficult in a race setting when you're distracted by the voice and
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
commentating.
Or chat. You never know.
Or cat.
Yes. Chat, cat.
Cat is very distracting.
I like how you crawled backwards up the tail to get it to fall. That was something I hadn't seen before. That was fun. All right, Usu, so do we take a short break here?
Yes, we're gonna cut to the intermission screen, and I just need to wait for whoever's ready to join events set up. I'm just waiting on some of the people, so yeah, we're gonna cut to a break. I'll see if I can get some music. Where did the tab go? Oh, so many tabs open. Oh, where did you go? Right. Right, so we're gonna cut to another break whilst we get the final bits and bobs for the ceremony set up. If you want to stay around for that, please do, but we'll see you in just a moment.